The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
Yo, what up? This is Rocky Asuka Romero of Chaos, and you are listening to Keepin It Strong Style, the ace of podcasts.
Yo, this is Rich Latta from One Nation Radio. This is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network. We present to you the ace of podcasts, Keepin It Strong Style. Let's go. It's the ace of podcasts, Keepin It Strong Style. Covering New Japan, they ready to hold it down. Jeremy, Donovan, and the young boy Josh. Come and hit a job out and bury all the frauds. From the Tokyo Dome over to the G1. Social Suplex is the network where we can get it done. I'ma chill and let them have it, cause this is just an intro. Keeping the strong style, 6 stars from the get-go, boy. Yeah, from Tampa Bay to the Tokyo Dome, this is Keeping It Strong Style with your hosts, Jeremy Donovan and the young boy Joshua Smith. And thank you for listening.
Welcome to Keeping It Strong Style, the ace of podcasts on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. Jeremy Donovan here alongside the young boy Josh Smith. On today's show, we'll be reviewing Destruction in Hiroshima and Destruction in Beppu, as well as covering all the latest news in the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling. You can support our show by subscribing to the Social Suplex Podcast Network on the podcast app of your choice and leaving a rating and review. You can also get all the podcasts and columns at socialsuplex.com. Go to socialsuplex.com/subscribe to sign up to get the podcasts and columns delivered directly to your email inbox. Also, make sure to check out our friends at purerezuroad.com. A lot of great Pure Rezu content on that site, including our podcast, Keeping It Strong Style. All right, young boy. We've had 2 Destruction shows.
I feel like I'm one of the best friends getting ready to... I'm getting pumped up, bro.
Actually, you're just a featured character.
I'm not your best friend, bro. Oh
You're my best friend. I'm saying if you were with the best friends, you would only be a supporting.
No, that bum Trent would have to go. It'd be all about me and Chucky T.
Young boy and Chucky T.
Joshua and Dustin forever. Yo, every time that we start the show and you're like, it's me, Jeremy, alongside the young boy, I always want to do something right there, but then you got this flow, so you keep going. But I don't know what it is that I would actually do. Like, my natural instinct is to be like, unit. Because I don't know what I'm supposed to.
Oh my god!
But I want to do something there. I wish I had, a noise that something like that.
Next week, let's get that ready. We'll have.
I don't know what to do though.
Well, you have a whole week to think about it.
I'm not gonna think. I don't think about this show in the week preparing for it. You do everything. I just show up and just shout nonsense.
Just the talent, the star.
Oh my god! But yeah, man. Speaking of G Unit, we'll get into this show, but I just showered. I just came back from the gym, and as I was walking out of the shower, I was playing some music, and I was like, I wish in life I had theme songs. You ever experienced that? Where you walk into a store, you're walking through the courtyard in school, and you wish you had theme music?
Dude, yeah, I would be at school. I would walk in the hallways with a wrestler's theme in my head, walking in the hallway. Time to play the game.
Oh, dude, how come Triple H has the greatest, he's not the greatest wrestler of all time or anything like that. He's one of them, but why has he had nothing but fire theme songs his entire career? Literally, think about, Time to Play the Game.
My Time.
My Time is so underrated.
King of Kings.
The D-Generation X theme song. This guy just freaking, that's how he got himself over.
And marrying Stephanie.
No, people think that's what they think it was him marrying Stephanie. No, it was the theme song. He owes a lot to Jim Johnston and also Motorhead
and the DX band.
Oh man, so Jeremy, you were a backyard pro wrestler, so you've had wrestling theme songs.
Yeah.
And you were telling me about a couple of them, and I was actually a little shocked, guys, because Jeremy has a proclivity where he's very fond of the 2000 era's like rock scene. Like what are the bands you like from that era?
I like Linkin Park, 3 Days Grace, Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah.
Fall Out Boy.
Yep.
303.
So I was expecting you to have like some Under Oath like theme song or like something crazy like that, but like, nah, you're thugging out there, right?
Well, my very first theme was Linkin Park, Points of Authority.
Of course.
But
you don't want to disappoint.
But then after that, I decided to change it up a little bit, get a little bit more hood. For a long time, I used Ghostface Kill the Champ.
That's because you were the champ.
Yeah.
Let's also be clear here, ladies and gentlemen, that Jeremy was booking the territory.
Oh, man.
And, like, some of the other guys would come to you and they'd be like, I think that maybe I should have a run. You're like, that's not for you, baby.
Oh, man, it's funny. Like, I never got labeled as a power hungry one. LaBoy would always get labeled because me and LaBoy used to book together.
I thought LaBoy was like the fall guy, like always.
Well, there was a time period where I was out for a little bit, but me and him were still booking. But he got all the heat on the booking decisions. And so then I came back and everybody was like, oh, you got to save us. And like I took over, like everybody thought I took over completely. And like I made all these different decisions and like.
But it's all the same stuff?
Like I was going over. Well, the funny thing was like.
So you were like Vince Russo. They thought they fired you, but you were still working for the company the whole time.
Yeah.
No, that's what were you going to say?
But yeah, Ghostface Kill the Champ, I came out to you. And then at one point I was running a gimmick when I was, we had this tournament called the King of the Underground. I won that and became the Majesty, John Juris.
Oh my God. So you weren't the King of the Indies. You were the King of the Underground.
Yeah.
Like even lower than the Indies. That's crazy.
I came out to Run DMC Down with the King.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Ever since we were in Chicago, we listened to AC Romero come out to I Just Want to Use Your Love. Like, anytime I'm like listening to, like, I'm never going to be a pro wrestler, but anytime I'm listening to the radio and like a theme song comes on, or calling it a theme song, anytime like just a regular song comes on it, but it's like iconic, I'm like, that would be a great theme song. Like the other day I was like sitting like in my car and like Journey came on, Don't Stop Believing, and I was like, yes. Like dun 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 dun. Like the crowd would be so into it because they already know it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like all these wrestlers are coming out to these crappy rock songs
or just like generic beats and
whatever. But like you're on the indies, you're not gonna get sued. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah. Unless you're like being filmed or a TV deal. Like
I'm coming out to Prince, bro. I'm coming out to like Purple Rain or some crap like that.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, bro. Like come out to Beat
It. Yes.
Oh my God. Like yeah. If you came out to Beat It, like don't wanna be wrong. Don't be a macho man.
Beat it.
But like we were having a discussion before the show started, and I like came to the conclusion that like for me, if I was gonna be a pro wrestler, my theme song would absolutely be Bon Jovi.
Living on a Prayer.
Living on a Prayer. It's the white person like national anthem. Like anytime you're out and just with like. Doesn't matter where you're at. You could be at a shop, you can be at a store, you can be at church, you can be at the bar, like a restaurant. It doesn't matter what facet of life you are. If that song comes on, white people, like, they lose their crap, bro. They love it. They're like, what with it? And, like, I'm always, like, hanging out with, like us. And like a lot of my black friends are just sitting there just like shaking their head, and that's why like I know like
me, Rich James.
But yeah, no, like for real, Living on a Prayer would like get huge pops. Like that would be like a super indie like
dude, you would get over instantly.
I also thought about like Phil Collins, I Can Feel It Coming in the Air Tonight.
Yeah.
Like if you did it the right way, like that won't be good. That'd be good.
Have like the Fog Machine.
What's something you would come out to? Like something super iconic. We'll move on.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of the ones you said would be like great options.
Also, like maybe like a crazy like DMX.
X gonna give it to you.
Yeah, bro. Like people will get hyped. Actually, you know what? Like where we live in Florida, like they would not get hyped. You'd be a heel, like.
Like if like Mr. Bates or like Snoop Strikes came out of that.
They came out to that like. You know what's hilarious is like we go to those Tampa Bay Pro shows and Buck Q comes out to the song from WrestleMania 17.
Oh, My Way, yeah.
Yeah, and now, like it's such a hot song, but I'm always like, man, that means Buck Q's coming out. Like I get very conflicted feeling. No, actually, he's a great worker. He's old. No, I'm just playing. No, but let's get into these shows. Let's get into these destruction shows, man.
Yeah. So first we had Destruction in Hiroshima, and this show.
I don't want to be insensitive, but that seems like a terrible name for a show to do in Hiroshima.
Destruction.
Yeah, bro. They dropped a bomb in Hiroshima. Like, what are they doing? But yeah, I don't want to cause any cultural issues. But that does seem like an insensitive like name.
Yeah.
For a pay-per-view in that city. I don't know. That's just me. I haven't thought about it till literally we're on the air, and I'm like, it's a little iffy.
Yeah.
If you ask me. That'd be like doing like bombing in New York. It's like what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I'm like what?
Yeah, demolition in New York.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, that wouldn't fly.
But anyways, let's get into this. So we started off the show hot with a 6-man tag action. We had the team of Kushida, Tiger Mask 4, and the living legend Jushin Thunder Liger taking on Roppongi 3K, Sho Yo, as well as Rocky Romero. Who they're now calling the Swiss Army pocket knife, because he can do it all, apparently.
And this match was good.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty standard. I think that the selling point and kind of what was interesting here is that all 6 of these guys were involved in the British J Cup for Rev Pro just last week. So I think that's part of like the interest of the angle. Obviously Roppongi 3K is a strong unit, and then Kushida, we're getting ready to see him at the end of this tour take on Bushi in the first leg of the junior heavyweight tag tournament.
Yeah,
so a little bit of backstory, and then this to me was sort of like just a vehicle to like open the show hot and maybe put some shine on Kushida, get him ready.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, there was nothing that stuck out to me. This was your standard, solid junior 6-man tag. Nothing to complain about, but nothing really for me to, point out and say like, hey, that was remarkable or anything of that
right.
nature.
I mean, it was a good little opener.
Yeah. I did notice Liger was out there like show-taying guys harder than he normally does.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
Yes.
Why was he show-taying the crap out of Sho and Yo? Like want them to realize they're still young boys, or like what's the deal?
I guess so. And I think it was the next show where Sho ended up getting like his eye swole up.
Oh, was that?
I don't think it was this show. I think it was the next show.
I thought he broke Umino's nose. Or was that a different match?
Yeah, Umino's nose. That was a different match. There was a match where Sho's eye swole up.
Okay,
but
yeah, I mean this match was very solid. Really good opener, 3-star affair.
But I was a little bit surprised that Rocky Romero was the one that ate the pin from Tiger Mask.
I mean, Rocky at this point, like, I'm not saying that they're never going to do a run with Rocky again. I'm sure they probably will at some point. Like, he's not done, but, Rocky's never been, like, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion.
Right.
And they're trying to protect Sho and Yo, and someone's going to take the fall. In these 6-man tag matches, it's probably going to be Rocky.
Rocky, yeah. But I was expecting maybe Kushida to get the pinfall since he's in the tournament.
Yeah, that would have made sense to me. I thought that was kind of an interesting booking decision. But, yeah, I mean, that's essentially what happened. The interesting thing, though, is Rocky, to give him credit, he was doing the forever clotheslines and got cut off, and he ended up getting hit with the Tiger Driver, and he kicked out it too.
Right, but then he got hit with the Tiger Suplex, and it was game time.
Did you think that Tiger Suplex was weird? Like, he kind of just like laid down, and Rocky just rolled over him. Like, there was literally no impact to that Tiger Suplex.
Yeah.
Like you want to talk about low bridges? Like, it don't get no lower. The dude literally just rolled backwards. I was like, what happened there? But yeah, so Kushida, Tiger Mask 4, and Jushin Thunder Liger pick up the win at 7 minutes and 15 seconds. And that takes us to the grudge match of the tour.
Yeah, Bad Luck Fale against Toa Hanare. They've been telling this story for a while now. Toa trained with Fale. And they always tell that story. First day in the dojo, he came up to Fale, said, I want to smoke. Fale put him down. And ever since, Toa's made it into New Japan, he's had run-ins with Fale. This is, their second one-on-one match now?
Do you think that's a real story? Like, what?
Or is it kayfabe, like they're working us?
Yeah, you think it's a kayfabe story? I mean, think about that. You're in I don't know, it's New Zealand, so, anything could happen. But, you go into a wrestling school and you know that it's a work and you're going to fight the head dojo trainer? Doesn't sound real. That sounds like some Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon sort of crap to me. I don't know.
Man, we don't know what kind of, school Fale is running over there.
We really, you're absolutely right. We have no idea what. Have you seen the school? I've seen some footage, and actually the ring that they wrestle on is it's literally just some pads on the ground.
Ooh, they got one of them thin rings.
It's not a ring.
Oh, just pads?
It's just pads on the ground, dude. If it is, it's only elevated by an inch or so. It's very old, it's like watching, the guys train in the dungeon, in the Bret Hart.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. They just have some ropes and, some posts, and it's a small ring. It's 12 by 12. It's tiny.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, they wrestle in that? I don't know.
But yeah, so here, once again, Hanare was killed by Fale. We had the hit with a big lariat and the grenade for the win.
Yeah, so they had previously wrestled at, what was that? That was at the G1 Climax Finals.
Yeah.
And what was it, a minute 55, I think, something like that?
Something like that.
Toa Hanare came out, just stormed him, and then he ended up, was it Bad Luck Fall or was it the grenade?
The first time was the Bad Luck Fall. They teased that here. He escaped the Bad Luck Fall, but the grenade did him in here.
Yeah, so this match was essentially just a prolonged, and not even by much, maybe by a minute, but it was
literally, this match was about a minute longer.
The one criticism I have about it, I don't have a problem with the story, but here's my one criticism. Toa Hanare, when he storms him in the very, 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 very beginning, he looks great, and then he runs out of ideas. You literally can see the guy wondering, what do I do next, and he looks lost. And you don't want to see if you have a hot baby face attacking a guy, you don't want to see him blow up or get lost in that moment and then just start resorting to kicks and chops. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was my only major complaint. There's not much. This was a 2-minute 54 match, and Bad Luck Fale just basically hit him with the grenade, and it was 1, 2, 3. It did what it needed to do to tell the story that they're trying to tell. What that story is, I still don't really know. But Hanare kind of had a similar series with Ishii earlier in the year.
Right.
And then they put him in with Bad Luck Fale. Do you think that there's still rumblings of the idea that Hanare may eventually join the firing squad, especially with them recruiting?
Yeah, a lot of people have been speculating this is what this whole rivalry is about, Hanare proving his toughness. And I could see that happening. Again, we don't have no idea for sure, but yeah, Bullet Club OG, they are recruiting. Toa has trained under Fale, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did end up having Toa join. it would kind of make sense and fit in with their whole background.
I would like to see him join a faction. That firing squad might be OG Bullet Club might be a good one for him, actually, but I'd like to see him hold on to. I know we've criticized his attire and stuff over the past year, but I'm at the point now where I'm fine with it. I would like to see him maintain some of that New Zealander gimmick.
Yeah.
But evil.
Right, more serious.
Maybe he has the black camel skins and white face paint and maybe a take on the tribal war paint that God wears. Mm-hmm. Something like that. That'd be kind of cool to me. Who knows? He could kind of become the baby enforcer of the group.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
for some reason, the first thing that came to my mind was Umaga.
Yes, that's the exact vibe I'm thinking of, an Umaga vibe. Yes. I didn't know how to say it, but that's exactly what I'm thinking. Not evil Tatanka.
Right.
Not like Corporation Tatanka. Okay.
Yeah.
Umaga. Yeah, that would be. I feel like that would do a lot of good for him.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But who knows if that's what they're doing? They might just be jobbing the dude because they don't have anything for either of them to do. I don't know.
Right.
But so Hanare eats the pin, and we move on to the third match of the night. The return of Killer Elite Squad, and they took on the team of Michael Elgin and Ayato Yoshida. And I just want to start off by saying my hats and my hands are off to Killer Elite Squad, because for the first time in maybe over a year, maybe longer, no one got spat on.
Yes, that's the first thing I noticed.
Oh my God.
As soon as they got into the ring, I was like, oh my God, Archer's not spitting on anybody.
Yeah. What do you think that's about?
Maybe it's a part of Harold May's new policies.
That's what I was literally, when I saw that they weren't spitting on people, I thought that it might have something to do with Harold May. The commentary team is trying to sell it like these guys have been gone for 5 months and they're angry and they're not playing games. But I was like, spitting on the crowd was a game?
I don't know. Archer looked like he was having fun with that.
Archer loves it, dude. He loves it, and I think Davey Boy loves it too. So at least it's water that Davey Boy's spilling on the fans, and not hot cups of coffee.
Yeah. Davey Boy's like, I got an idea.
But so Killer Elite Squad came out, and they look serious, man. They look serious.
Davey Boy Smith, he's wearing his the gear similar to Teddy Hart, the entrance attire. They're teaming up in MLW now.
He never gives a crap about what he's wearing when it comes to Killer Elite Squad. I'm like, are these guys gonna get on the same page? Even when they'll both be wearing jeans, and Archers are all tattered, and
Dave Boy just bought his.
Yeah. They're tapered and cuffed at the bottom, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then he'll be like, you know what? I'm just gonna wear the Bulldog attire, and I'm like, what?
Right, and now he's wearing his new Heart Foundation gear.
I liked when they first started tagging, and Archer wore the black tights, and then he wore the black trunks, and they kind of coordinated. I like when tag teams coordinate.
Yeah, so do I.
I'm a big fan of that. I'm an 80s tag team wrestling mark. I like when the guys, you can tell that I like Best Friends because when they're not tagging, they have variations.
Right.
But when they tag, they always coordinate.
Yeah.
I love that. But yes, they took on Elgin and Yoshida. What did you think about this match, Jeremy?
I thought it was a solid tag match. I thought Killer Elite Squad looked really good. We haven't seen them in action in New Japan in about 5 months. So I thought I was happy they're back. They looked pretty good. Yoshida also looked good as well. So did Elgin. I mean, everybody looked good in this match. It was a solid tag match. Clearly, the whole point of this match was to reintroduce Killer Elite Squad, get them over, and get you thinking that they could be potential number one contenders for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag titles.
Yeah, and with that being said, let's talk about that for a second. So you want to talk about your mixed matches and things like that. I know that the Young Bucks are undoubtedly probably the greatest tag team going today and one of the all-time greats when it comes to tag team wrestling. However, dude, them and Killer Elite Squad is such a huge size differential, way bigger than any other that they're going to run into in New Japan at this current time. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember a time watching the Young Bucks that they've ever wrestled
a team that big.
I'm not saying that I'm not casting doubt on whether they can or can't, but just from the standpoint of that picture.
Yeah. Because
they've been undersized against guys who are way undersized compared to KES. You know what I mean? What do you think that's gonna do?
I don't know. I mean, I really want to see the match, and we've kind of talked about this in past shows. We want to see Killer Elite Squad versus Young Bucks. I think that match would be really great, and I think that's what they're building towards.
For me, that was kind of more like a speculative thing, but now that it's a reality, I'm there's a part of that wrestling fan of me that's kind of scared for the Young Bucks. I'm I don't know they could beat. I know that they could probably beat them,
right.
Whatever. But think about it, bro. It's like the Rock and Roll Express, or it's like the Rockers taking on the Twin Towers. It's oh my God, that size differential is crazy. It's I'm taking on Demolition. What the heck?
Yeah.
Killer Elite Squad, I mean, they're one of the largest tag teams in the game. And they look like they've been heating them up for a while.
Right.
Even though they've been gone for about 5 months, before they left, they were winning.
They were winning.
Yeah. And they had just beaten, I think, Ishii and Yano.
Because remember we questioned that because Ishii and Yano, they were getting built up, and then all of a sudden KES comes in and like just beats them. But yeah, KES got the win here with the killer bomb on Yoshida.
Any thoughts about Elgin and Yoshida tagging together? That choice, what do you think about that?
Well, Elgin always seems to get paired up with young boys or guys like Yoshida or like a David Finlay or kind of the lower card kind of guys. And when you see that happens, obviously Elgin's team's taking the L.
Yeah.
It just kind of shows you where they kind of view Yoshida.
Yeah, there's people that were talking about Yoshida online and kind of questioning, the fact that he has come in, and it seems sort of what I'd been asking, like, where does he stand in the company? And someone had pointed out, and I thought this was worth mentioning, they're like, he's been working main events and working prolonged matches for a while, so even though he is young, you know what I mean? It's not like he's just an opening act the way that a young lion is. So yeah, because he's a K-Dojo product. So, and this essentially is like a tryout for him. So it's not like he's full. I mean, he could be signed. We don't know, but like
And we kind of speculated about this last week. Yeah. And he's been kind of like all over the card. And as far as card placement, so
to me, it's sort of like a tryout to see, they must be behind him though, because I mean they're featuring him quite a bit. I don't think they would do that if they didn't have any sort of plans or intentions for him. But I think he's impressive, man. Yeah, like he really, really is. So yeah, I hope to see more of him. But yeah, KES, they look 9 minutes, killer bomb, and then after the match, they were like wrecking young boys.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Archer chokeslammed Narita, I think it was.
Was that on the outside or was that in the ring? They did something on the outside where I was like, oh, that's really nasty.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was on the outside, but I'm pretty sure Narita got chokeslammed inside.
Then that takes us to the next match of the night. The team of Chaos, so Will Ospreay, Trent Beretta, Chucky T taking on Kota Ibushi, Yujiro Takahashi, and Chase Owens.
Yeah, so this was another, good 6-man tag. And once again, for me, the highlight in this match was, the interactions between Ibushi and Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
And they just keep teasing that. They're teasing us, taunting us with that match.
Because they know we want it so badly.
Yes, we want it so bad. And, dude, this needs to be a Wrestle Kingdom match.
Does it? I mean, I don't know. Like, for me, like, that would be pretty amazing, but at the same time, I'm like, well, that would be quite a
jump for Ospreay.
Not just, I don't want to say jump, like a reward. Obviously, he's having one of the best years of the juniors. We've been talking all year about, Wrestler of the Year honors with this guy.
Right.
So, I mean, what a way to reward him if they decide to do that. My only thing is I'm just still thinking about the whole Golden Lovers storyline. And
where that's
exactly. Plus, at the same time, it's like, Ibushi's the kind of guy where, from a creative standpoint, he might want to do that. But also at the same time, I fully anticipate him being involved in some sort of title angle of some sort.
True.
And I just don't see that with Will Ospreay. But now that you've said it, I'm like, well, Ibushi might just want to do that. Like, because that match would be, like, freaking incredible.
In the Tokyo Dome? Oh, my gosh. Can you imagine what those two would do in the Dome in the big match?
Give them 15 minutes, 16, 17 minutes. They'd kill it. So, yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I mean, we're in what? We're in freaking September. I mean, January's a long way away, so I don't know if they're going to hold off something like that. This could just be one of those little breadcrumbs that they throw at us now, and then a year from now or 2 years from now, it gets paid off.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff they do. So, hard to say, but yeah, I mean, every time I've seen Ospreay and Ibushi interact, it's magic.
Yeah. And then it was great seeing best friends back in New Japan.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's all excited about Trent being back, but I'm like, well, what about Chucky T?
The Kentucky Gentleman.
What about the Kentucky Gentleman, ladies and gentlemen? Did you see that tweet that he posted about missing Bola?
Yeah, he was like, I'm so sad I'm missing Bola. I don't get to see William Regal looking out behind the curtain thinking he's seen like the worst wrestler of all time.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, Chuck E. T's got the best tweets, man.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
He's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, Best Friends and Will Ospreay taking on. Now, one thing that I thought was interesting was you had mentioned last week about how fed up Ibushi seemed with the whole Bullet Club thing.
Yeah.
And they kind of were playing into that a little bit, seemed like, in this match, where Yujiro and Chase were, like, cheating a bit.
And they were trying to get Ibushi to cheat, and Ibushi was like, nah.
Yeah, he wasn't with it, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. What did you think when you saw that?
Yeah, once again, I think it's playing into this whole, Kenny and Kota storyline. I think it's playing into the split. I think little by little, Kota's going to keep getting frustrated with being involved with the Bullet Club Elite. And I think it's going to get to a point where he's like, Kenny, like, we're either golden lovers or nah. Like, I'm not being a part of the Bullet Club Elite. Like, you need to be with them or be with me.
Hey, and I'm all with that because like, the whole time, this is going back to New Japan Cup, dude.
Yeah.
We're going back to March, and I remember the first time on that tour when I was like, they got Ibushi teaming with the Bullet Club? That sounds so
I know, you're like, this is weird. Like, why?
It's been weird. Like, and as much as I like to joke around and say how much I like Chase and Ibushi as a team, it's kind of more just like a facetious sort of thing. Like, but I mean, Ibushi to me is like the ultimate white hat, and seeing him team with, Yujiro and Chase is still weird to me.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So yeah, I'm sure that's building into that boiling point where Ibushi's going to be like, I can't do this anymore.
As far as the match, though, I mean, this was actually one of the best matches on the card. I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, I thought it was a better 6-man tag than, say, the opener for sure. And if you think about it, almost everybody in here was at one point a very accomplished junior.
Yeah.
Trent, Ospreay, Ibushi, Takahashi, Chase. The only one who wasn't is Chuck E. T, and he still wrestles that style. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you had a great mix of talent in this match, and it was very entertaining, I thought.
Yeah, and the Chaos team got the win with the Strong Zero, which is the Dude Buster double stomp combo.
That's funny because I remember in the past that they named it the Strong Zero, but during the post-match interview, they said that they didn't know what the name of it was.
They forgot.
Did they forget that they named it Strong Zero?
I think they did, yeah.
Yeah, he's like I jumped on his butt. He hit him with the Trent Buster, and he's like, it's not the Trent Buster. I'm the Dude Buster. He's like, we got a name for it. We don't have a name for it. We'll figure it out. And I'm like, it's the Strong Zero, dude. You guys named this like in December.
Yeah, obviously.
It was a while ago. It was like 10 months ago.
Yeah, clearly they forgot about that. But yeah, they hit the Strong Zero.
These guys are out there doing some late night cardio or something, on the streets of Roppongi.
Yeah, hanging out with Juice.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
But yeah, they get the win here. And, of course, it was more continuation of Ospreay wanting Ibushi.
My biggest criticism, I would like to see Yujiro take more of these falls. Stop jobbing Chase, okay? Stop jobbing my boy. Like, we all know Yujiro's not going anywhere. He's not going to be, like, in the G1. He's not going to have a title reign. Chase he's still going places, okay? Chase is on the case. Like, stop jobbing this dude. He's better than Yujiro.
Hashtag save Chase.
Hashtag save Chase.
Oh, man. So, up next, we had the Never Openweight 6-man Tag Team Championship match with the champions Tama Tonga, Tangaloa, and Taiji Ishimori defending against the team of Juice Robinson, David Finlay, and Ryusuke Taguchi.
So, we got a lot of shenanigans with Taguchi Japan. Taguchi was in there wearing a rugby helmet.
And rugby jersey.
Yeah, calling plays, stuff like that. But for me, this match never really took off. I mean, it was perfectly fine, but it never really got out of first gear or anything like that.
Right. I mean, it was just kind of your basic Team Taguchi Japan kind of match where they're kind of doing the hip attack stuff and the running the play corner spots and stuff like that, and then
Tama's doing the stuff he does. Ishimori's in there just being incredible, just making Tama and he doesn't make Tama and Tangaloa look good.
Right.
He just looks so good that they're just there. You know what I mean? It's not like he's in there making raising their stock. He's in there raising his
own stock, yeah.
It's crazy how amazing Taiji Ishimori really is. But I don't know, man. Obviously we've got Fighting Spirit Unleashed is on the horizon. That's at the end of the month?
September 30th.
So, the story there with Tamatanga and Tangaloa, they're getting ready to challenge against the Young Bucks. So I didn't anticipate that they'd be dropping these belts here to Gucci Japan, although they easily could have.
Yeah. But I was expecting them to retain, which they did when Tangaloa hit the ape shit on David Finlay.
Yeah.
And they got the win there.
So, it was what it was. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, so then we had more 6-man tag action with the Chaos team of Hiroki Goto, Toru Yano, and Geto taking on the Suzuki-gun trio of Taichi, Isuka, and Kanemaru.
Yeah, so this sucked.
Yeah. Absolute dud.
Yeah, man, it sucked.
It's what you expect. Suzuki-gun brawling, Toru Yano comedy, Geto cheating comedy.
I mean, we've been saying this. We've been seeing iterations of this all throughout the Road 2 shows. And obviously, if you are a listener of this show, we're not fans of, Izuka. We're not big fans of Kanemaru. Taichi still has plenty to criticize. Goto is spotty, even though Goto can have a 5-star match any given night.
Yeah.
He wrestles to the level of his competition, and it's not a cliched thing that they just say for story. Like, it's the truth.
True, yeah.
Like, and then, Gato's Gato, man. Like, at this point in his career, and Toru Yano is, a comedy wrestler. Sure. I'm sad to see wrestler Toru Yano go.
Yeah, man. Shooter Yano was one of my favorite things of the G1 this summer,
It literally was one of my favorite things this whole year.
I popped for literally every belly to belly.
For me, like, when we talk about, like, Fighting Spirit Awards, like...
Shooter Yano is going to be
Yano, like, is a candidate. Like, you show me something more inspiring than him trying to do fair play, okay?
Redeem his school.
So, I mean, if you would have seen this on paper and you listened to the show, we wouldn't have been big fans of it. And I don't know too many New Japan fans that would have been, like, super into this.
Yeah, and plus, so this match ends with DQ. Taichi hits Goto with the mic stand, beats him down.
Now, I get it. There's people that probably are listening to this and they're like, well, you guys don't get it. They're trying to build up Taichi and heat him up for the match with Goto. It's like, nah, I get it. I don't care, though. Yeah. I'm just, it's whatever,
Yeah.
Not really, I'm not feeling this. I'm not into it. I'm not with the smoke,
Yeah.
So, but, they did if their job was to try to build up the Goto and Taichi match, I guess that's the way that they did it. Again, we talked about this all throughout the, what's it called? The Road 2 shows, how, to me, of all the title matches, this was the one with the worst build. And this just kind of parlayed into that again.
Yeah, this did not make me want to see that title match at all.
Maybe we're being little babies. I don't know. That is part of Taichi's thing. Like, he's a real heel and he does stuff to make you not like him. And
right.
But it's also at a point where it's like, well, I also want to be entertained by what you're doing. Like, I don't want to actually dislike watching you work.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but this is whatever. I wouldn't even give this rating. To me, this is just a dud.
Yeah.
It was nothing.
Yeah.
And if I was going to start giving it ratings, we're going to start going into, like... Negatives?
Yeah.
Quarter star? I don't know. It's not good.
It's not.
I mean, and it was an 11-minute match. There's a lot to kind of judge off of. It wasn't good. Was this the night when Isuka started attacking announcers, or was that the next night?
That was the next night.
Okay. So that brings us to the next match of the night. The team of LIJ, Tetsuya Naito, Sanada, Evil, and Bushi taking on Suzuki-gun, Minoru Suzuki, Zack Sabre Jr., Taka Michinoku, and Desperado.
And again, this is much of what we've been seeing this whole Destruction tour, including the Road 2 shows. Surprise, surprise, Suzuki-gun jump at the start. These guys are brawling over the place. Obviously, the focus is on Naito and Suzuki. They're out there brawling. But I gotta say, man, Suzuki murdered Naito in this match.
Yeah, he did.
He brutally beat him.
Yeah, he did.
Had him choked out, was hanging him with a sleeper on the ropes.
Yeah.
Women were crying at Naito, just getting wrecked.
Yeah, this was one of the worst, beatings. I mean, we saw this guy get left as a bloody pulp by Jericho, and I felt way more sympathy in this interaction. There was no blood involved, but it was so much more vicious than that, quote unquote, the 2 attacks from Jericho this past year. taking nothing away from them. I'm not even criticizing them. I thought they were good angles.
Yeah.
But this was awesome.
Yeah.
Also, I was a little surprised because we got Suit Naito. He came out with the came out with the suit. I was expecting to see like a good performance, like, you know, considering that it was a Destruction show. I was like, oh, you know, he's ready to go. We didn't really get that. Like, he got destroyed in this match.
Yeah, he got wrecked. And
how about the stuff with Evil and Zack Sabre Jr.? I think that's worth making mention of.
Yeah, so it looks like they're building towards a Evil Zack Sabre one-on-one match at some point.
Doesn't it feel like that is something that should center around like the IC title for some weird reason?
Or the Never title?
Something.
Yeah.
It just feels like...
That feels like a big match to me.
Yeah, me too, and that's kind of weird. I mean, they've never had a singles match before.
Right, because they've been in opposite blocks in G1 the past 2 years, and yeah, they just haven't crossed paths in one-on-one match. So yeah, it looks like they're setting that up.
Yeah, and I mean, they had a lot of comments for each other after the matches, and so yeah, I mean, clearly they're building to something between those two guys. What exactly it is, I don't know, but I feel like that's something we're going to get on King of Pro Wrestling for some reason.
Yeah, could be. And LIJ ends up getting the win here. They did Sonata and Evil hit the Magic Killer on Takamichi Nohu. But the main story of this was Suzuki leaving Naito for dead.
So talk about that. What happened at the end of the match there?
So Suzuki and Naito were on the floor. Suzuki was pretty much had like a choke, a rear naked choke on Naito.
Yeah.
Also, the referee is paying attention to the action in the ring, so the whole time the match is finishing, Suzuki's choking out Naito. After the match is over, he's still choking out Naito. The referees and young boys can't get him off. And finally he lets go, leaves Naito for dead. Like I mentioned earlier, women are crying, weeping at the sight of Naito's like lifeless body.
Yeah.
Eventually he comes to. They're trying to get him to the back. They're trying to get him on a stretcher. He refuses a stretcher.
Yeah, it was some scary stuff, honestly. And I mean, watching wrestling, I really appreciate a great post-match angle like that. And I mean, like, they had me a little bit like not that I thought it was real. Not that I thought like this dude like had brain damage, but at the same time I was like, dude, are they gonna like stretch her off like Tetsuya Naito tonight?
They did a great job of getting sympathy for Naito.
They got some sympathy on Naito, but they correct me if I'm wrong, they brought out the stretcher and everything, right?
Yeah. And he refused to go on. He
was face down. I thought they were doing a stretcher job. I was like, oh my god. You know what I kind of thought they might do for a half? Well, then. This is stupid, so sometimes guys, if you listen to the show, you know that I'm stupid. But for a half second, I thought that they were gonna not do the match the next, like they're gonna stretcher him.
Oh, and postpone the match
to King. But then I only thought about it for a half second. I was like, oh my god, are they even gonna do this match? And then I was like, wait, it's the main event. Of course they're gonna do it. Like, you're an idiot. You don't even have a title match tomorrow, so of course they're gonna do it. But yeah, he ended up walking off. I think he had like LIJ kind of help support him to walk out, right?
Was it LIJ or was it Young Boys? I can't remember right now.
I don't think it was the Young Boys.
Probably LIJ, yeah.
So, yep. Speaking of which, like, why, I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but why were his boys letting him get, like, choked until he literally had brain damage? Like, what was that about?
Because, dude, LIJ, we've talked about it before. They are the worst when it comes to backing up Naito. They will literally stand there and watch that man get jumped.
Why are they letting this dude get wrecked like every night? Like, I don't understand. Like, people want to blame Gato and New Japan Office and conspiracies. They want to blame like Okada's title reign. But let's start at the basics. Let's look at LIJ. These dudes are never there when this guy gets attacked. Like,
dude, LIJ and Chaos, they're the worst at supporting their stablemates.
Well, Chaos is more recent, but like LIJ has a measurable and demonstrable track history of like not backing up Naito. It's like, what the heck's going on? Like, my God.
Speaking of Chaos, they were
one of these days when LIJ like turns on him, which at some point something like that will probably happen if history proves true, and I'm just gonna look back and be like, well. They never had his back to begin with. Like,
right.
Why y'all surprised? Like,
So I mentioned Chaos. They were in the next matchup, represented by Okada, Yoshihashi, and Jay White, and they were taking on the team of Hiroshi Tanahashi, Togi Makabe, and Tomioka Hanma. Obviously, the story of this match was building towards Tanahashi and Okada coming up this Sunday for the shot at the Tokyo Dome.
But you know what's interesting? That's really not the story.
I know. I would say there was also more. That was like one part of the story of this match. The other story of this match, obviously, Jay White has been fighting for control of Chaos, and with him beating Okada in the G1, he feels like he should be the leader of Chaos. And actually, like, Yoshihashi was the center of a lot of the story of this match. You have
That's why this match was terrible. That's why this match is getting negative stars from me.
So you had Jay White trying to get, Yoshihashi to like listen to him and take his lead. We've also had comments from Tanahashi saying he wants Yoshihashi to leave Chaos. He wants to kind of like get Yoshihashi, get him under his wing and, train him up. And so obviously Okada.
Listen, I love the Ace, okay, but he's losing it, dude. Like, this dude's telling me he sees potential. Like, you told me you saw potential in Ibushi. Okay, I see that. But you want to tell me you see potential in Yoshihashi? Like, yeah, just get ready because I'm gonna start go Ace. And when I say go Ace, I'm talking about the real Ace. Everyone's like, when I did that Tanahashi rant, like after he like beat Ibushi, and like people were like, "Wow, you really love Tanahashi," and I was like, "I guess I do," but. Yeah, my loyalty only goes so far. You start supporting Yoshihashi, and we're gonna have beef. It's gonna totally invalidate that moment when he pointed at me in
New Orleans.
That's over. That's ancient history. Start rolling with Yoshihashi.
Hey man, maybe the Ace can work a miracle.
No, he can't. No one can work a miracle. It's Yoshihashi. Come on. Like, no, I'm just playing. Like, but anyway, so what were you saying?
So we saw a lot of miscommunication between the Chaos team here.
Nothing but miscommunication.
Yeah.
And manipulation. A lot of the times where Jay White was tagging in, it was only in situations where it benefited him.
Right.
At the detriment of his stablemates.
Right. And so it came down to where Okada... Yoshihashi was like holding Tanahashi. Okada runs to like boot Tanahashi. Tanahashi moves, he boots Yoshihashi, and Tanahashi cradles Yoshihashi for the win. So then obviously Yoshihashi is pissed at Okada for kicking him in the face.
I thought it was great at the end where he like was at the commentary table. You couldn't see it, but you could hear the audio. He's like, "What happened?"
Oh yeah, Jay White was like, "What happened? What happened? What happened?
What happened to Yoshihashi? What happened?"
And Kevin's like,
Kevin's like, he got booted, and he was like, "Okada kicked him." he's like, it was inadvertent. It was not intentional. Okada kicked Yoshihashi. He's like, Jay, it was unintentional. And like Jay White starts losing his crap. And I was like, this is, for all the criticisms, and I feel like we're always defending Jay White, but like, dude, like this is a dude who was like a generic young lion, like just not even that long ago.
Yeah.
For them to have like these compelling moments and stories all year. I mean, he's not my favorite wrestler or anything like that, but I thought that was great. Like just how like slimy this dude is.
Dude, yeah, he's the master manipulator. He's trying to use this to separate, Yoshihashi from Okada and take over Chaos. And we know at the end of this, Yoshihashi, he's mad at Okada. He's kind of like staring at Okada, and Tanahashi staring at him. So it's kind of that kind of struggle for Yoshihashi, the struggle with Chaos.
When the match first started, they were supposed to. It seemed like we were gonna get Okada and Tanahashi to start things off, and like Jay White made him go in the corner, and he like basically said to him, he's like, "I beat you in the G1.
Yeah.
Why should you start? Like, why are you the leader?" And I'm like, woo.
Heat.
And yeah, so I mean, like, dude, this literally is we're gonna get to a point where we get some sort of confrontation or match between Jay White and Okada. It's inevitable.
Yeah,
it's inevitable. So I mean, that's definitely gonna happen. But yeah, I thought this was, as far as like, doing a job telling a story, this was good, man.
Yeah,
really good. This was like the anti 6-man tag that we saw with Goto and like and Taichi.
The Chaos Suzuki-gun match.
Yeah, this was like the anti that. This was really good. I mean, it wasn't like blow away like in ring, but as far as storytelling, like it was really good. The other thing too is it casts a lot of doubt on what's going on with Chaos, what's going on with Okada, where's his head at. Tanahashi's playing it up. Like, it's good stuff. Also, before we move on, Hanma. It's interesting how like we've been saying like we're like Hanma's not fully there, kind of worried, and like they've been kind of like relaying the same thing on commentary, being like, yeah, he's like not confident out there, and he's said so. He knows that he's not.
Yeah, in a lot of his backstage promos, he mentions like he doesn't feel like he's all there and stuff like that.
Part of me like has to feel like it's not just a work, like there's a lot of truth to that. So
yeah,
keep our eyes on that. Like, keep our eyes on that. I hope he does get back to full health and full capabilities and all that. But like every time I see him out there, man, I'm nervous.
Yeah, dude.
Nervous. But that's gonna bring us to the main evento.
Yes, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship match.
The IWGP.
The champion, the best bout machine, Kenny Omega, taking on the Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii.
The Japanese best bout machine.
These guys, before this match, were 2-2 in their overall matches against each other.
All 4 matches that they've had have been at the level where you could consider them match of the year level contenders. So, yeah. I mean, high expectations here.
Yeah, obviously the most recent being the G1 match that they had this year with Ishii defeating Omega, which got him this title match here.
And that's my favorite match they've ever had, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really love the G1 in San Francisco match for the U.S. title.
Oh, yes, the tournament from the very first.
I love that match.
Yes, yeah.
Love it. But, and Bushi was out here seconding Omega, which,
Well, he ended up going on commentary.
Oh, that's right. You're right. My bad. What am I even saying? You're right. He did go to commentary.
Yeah, I thought he was second in too, but yeah, he ended up just going over to the commentary.
Crack journalism here.
But, yeah, I mean, this... Surprise, this was another excellent matchup between these two guys. I don't think it's their best match. I would honestly say this is probably, quote unquote, the worst match maybe out of the 5 matches they've had. But once again, this was above 4 stars. I was like 4.5 on this.
For in-ring action, it probably is, like you said, the worst match of the 5 match series they've had. I would say so. Not to say it didn't have its moments or that it wasn't great, because this is a great match.
Right, it's excellent.
I mean, 4.5 stars.
Yeah.
How are you going to complain about that?
Right.
We're so spoiled. I mean, we've had some 5-star matches this year. This match is great. But in terms of like the atmosphere, the story, the prestige of the IWGP title, the backstory, from the G1, I would put this on the same level as like their first 2 encounters from last year during the the New Japan Cup, and then the rematch. I forget where they wrestled. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember right now either,
to be honest. But I would put it like around the same level as that, just for the importance of this match. But as far as like the action and the story, or the actual action, I would say it was probably the weakest match they've had, and that's really, really saying something, because I mean this match was incredible, man. They had me popping. I was actually at work watching this with my headphones on, and I was like, ooh. And like one of my coworkers, she looks over her desk, she's like, you okay over there? I'm like, don't worry about it.
You want to smoke? Yeah, man. Yeah, I was popping too. Dude,
you were popping, huh?
Oh my gosh.
This match made you pop, right?
This segment brought to you by Blue Chew. No, but all right there.
You're stupid.
But dude, the double foot stomp spot.
We need someone to make a compilation of all our Blue Chew shout outs and like have it like compiled and sent off to Blue Chew, and like I'm ready to sell out, bro. I'm ready to sell out. I don't care.
But yeah, the table spot. Omega puts Ishii on the table, out on the outside of the railing.
Yeah.
Goes to the top and jumps over into the double foot stomp.
What did you think he was gonna do there?
At first, maybe he does that springboard. Usually it's like a springboard crossbody over the railing,
like what he's done to Naito in the past.
Right.
Right.
So I thought maybe he's gonna do like a springboard splash, maybe. But then he went to the top. He didn't even go for a springboard. He went to the top.
No, he did springboard.
Was it a springboard?
Yeah, he did springboard.
I thought it was just from the top.
That's what made it crazy. He did a springboard, bro.
Yeah.
Same thing. I thought he was going to do like a flip maybe onto him.
Yeah.
Like a senton.
Yeah.
But it just like, it didn't seem right because they didn't pull the railing back far enough. And I was like, this doesn't, I was like, what is he about to do?
Yeah, I was like...
I really did not think he was doing like a double foot stomp. Mm-hmm. And when he did that, like I was like, oh my god, these guys are freaking nuts. Like, bro, Ishii really trusts Kenny Omega because he's let him do some crazy table spots on him over the past 2 years. Like,
yeah.
My God. But this match was just, man, it was just so great.
Yeah, I mean, lots of callbacks to their previous matches, a lot of counters.
The beginning was really good where Kenny was kind of focused in on the neck, and I thought Kevin Kelly and, oh, by the way, before we move on, who's the new guy? Who is this guy?
So, hold on, let me get the pronunciation of his last name correctly here.
I know he just followed us on Twitter.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
He knows what's up. He's with the smoke.
But yeah, his name's Mark. Hold on, let me grab his last name here. Mark Warzechka?
Oh my God. Where's Eshka? Where's that?
Warzechka?
We don't know, bro. We still can't even pronounce President Harold's name right.
Right, yeah. But yeah, apparently this guy he commentated for
Hi, Mark.
for Dojo Pro TV. This is honestly the first time I've heard about him or heard his commentary.
From what they were saying, I think Dojo. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Dojo Pro TV is like the work that they're doing with the LA Dojo, and I think he's done some stuff for the website with like Rocky and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Dojo Pro's that crappy TV show.
Right.
That
it's on Amazon Prime and Fight TV.
Caleb Baldwin's always telling me I need to watch it, and he's like trying to sell it like it's the greatest thing ever, but it sounds crappy to me. It might be good. Who knows? If you guys are listeners and you like the show, give us a shout out and tell us about it. But Caleb's trying to get me to watch Impact, and I still won't watch it. So. So, like, I'm not, and I know that Impact's great. So, you think I'm gonna watch Dojo Pro at Caleb's like, request? Nah. But no, yeah. What did you think of him on these shows?
I thought he was very knowledgeable. He sounded prepared, but I don't know. Something about him was kind of off for me. It
was kind of off. It seemed like though. Was he commenting? No, this is the first night he was commenting.
Yeah.
I think the second night he did better. I think the second night he was a little more fluid, a little more comfortable, and I also thought as the show progressed, he got more comfortable.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, it was like very forced, and I was like, "Who is this dude? Where's freaking Don Callis?
Where's Rocky?"
Yeah, I was like, "Where's Rocky? Where's Chris Charlton? Where's Joshua Smith? Like, why aren't they commentating?"
Right.
No, but I'm not going to bury him. I actually thought that, like you said, he did seem very prepared. Like, that was one thing I didn't take note of was, like, he's done a lot of research to
Yeah, he knew the backstory and all the matches and the wrestlers. He knew the moves. Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, do you think Don Callis is done, or what do you think the deal is? Or do you think they just brought this guy in because they need someone,
well, I think
is this a trial? Like, what is this?
Well, they need somebody because Rocky was wrestling. So, I know in the past they usually bring him on afterwards.
Yeah, Rocky comes out afterwards. Like,
but for whatever reason, they didn't hear. Don Callis, they had the Impact tapings in Mexico.
Oh, that's right.
That weekend. So it's getting harder and harder for Don Callis to get over here with such an important role with Impact Wrestling, especially with them doing out of the country tapings, so his appearances have been limited to the big shows. I mean, we might not see Don Callis again until Wrestle Kingdom.
He'll probably be there for King Pro Wrestling. I'm pretty sure that's a big show.
Yeah, well, we don't know what's going on with Impact. If they have a taping or somewhere, I mean...
Well, yeah, he did miss the G1 finals, so
right.
You could be totally right.
I mean, Impact, they tape a lot in Canada. Now they're doing Mexico. They're planning on taping in the UK at some point.
Did you feel like Kevin Kelly was burying him? I felt like he was throwing some real digs at Don Callis on commentary, and not like in a playful manner.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just misinterpreting this. I'm not trying to like start something like don't anyone like tweet and be
on
like
the dirt sheets. Young boy Joshua Smith says Kevin Kelly.
But it did seem kind of like he was criticizing him for maybe not showing up. I don't know. That's just what it sounded like to me. I don't know. Did you pick up on that?
To me, I thought it was just
their story, like
playful banter. I mean, they're always taking shots at each other.
I don't know. For some reason, it came off as different than that to me. I don't know. I don't know.
Don Callis is always like burying his friends on killing the town.
Well, if it turns out that he's like done or something, or didn't live up to his, end of the bargain or something, then we'll look back to this episode and be like, yeah, Josh was the person. he caught it first, but going back to the match, I thought that both of these guys, talking about Kevin Kelly and then Mark, they did a great job really expounding on the idea that like Kenny was targeting the neck and that was like the base of the story. But then eventually it kind of devolved into the strikes and the V-triggers and the elbows and the knee,
lariats,
the headbutts.
Yes.
This match turned into a war.
Dude, I popped for Ishii doing the V-trigger.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Yeah. And he did that to Ibushi as well, right?
Yeah.
Did he do a V-trigger during their match during the G1?
No, I don't think he did.
But he definitely did.
He did the gun point to the head and then bam, hit that man with the V-trigger.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. I also like the point where Kenny pointed the gun at him and he like stood up and he like, I was like, that's an awesome picture.
Yeah.
That might even be a picture of this week's episode. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, this match was awesome, man. German suplexes, standard suplexes, like these guys. Not to mention the spot that you kind of mentioned, the outside coup de grace, like,
right?
Which is great.
Ishii's Frankensteiner from the top rope.
Yeah, the Ishii Steiner, bro, was awesome. Oh man, I really popped for that. This match had me just really like, I mean, what more can you ask for? And then at one point, like, I thought Kenny was trying to go, he started teasing like he was going to go for like a J driller off the top rope.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, what are these dudes are crazy, bro. Like, what is it? Thankfully he didn't. But at the same time, in a way, my only real criticism of the match is that this was like a greatest hits.
Yeah.
Not to say it wasn't entirely derivative, I'm not saying that, but it was a lot of the things that we've seen them do on a lesser level.
Right.
And in other matches, a lot of their matches have gotten to that higher level. I think part of it, one thing I noticed was that Kenny never got hit with the
Brainbuster.
With the Brainbuster, and it didn't seem like there's very many points where he was gonna get hit with it. And yes, he was getting killed with lariats and he was getting killed with big moves, but I never really believed that he was going to get beat. Yeah. And that was one of the things that kind of took me out of the match a little bit.
Well, I think majority of people, I think in the back of their heads was like, there's no way Ishii's beating Kenny. And with all the work they're doing with this Kenny and Tanahashi's story, I mean, it's so clear like that's the Wrestle Kingdom main event.
That's true. However, many times in the past, I've thought that Ishii wasn't going to win, and either he did, or they're just such great workers that they've gotten me to the point where like I'm like, screw it. Let's go Ishii, come on.
Yeah.
And it never got to that point for me. Like, to me, they did an incredible... Now, I'm not saying they made Ishii look weak. That's not what I'm saying. He looked very, very strong, very competent, incredible challenger. But they weren't catching me with them false finishes in this match.
Yeah.
Not the way they did, like, even the Pentagon match a few weeks ago. Like, they had me thinking he beat Kenny. not every match needs that, but this match probably could have benefited a little bit more from some of that, and that was one thing that kind of drew it back for me. That being said, the crowd in Hiroshima was...
They were into this match.
They not only were they into it, they wanted Ishii. They wanted to see Ishii win. They were. That was a pro Ishii.
One thing I've noticed with New Japan crowds is that they seem to support the underdog a lot in their matches. So sometimes even regardless of whether the guy's like a face or a heel, they'll want to support the guy who is an underdog. And that was the case here in this Omega Ishii match. They were sure they might have thought that Omega was going to win the match, but they were big behind Ishii. Anytime Ishii got a near fall, they were cheering Ishii, and they really wanted to see Ishii win the IWGP Championship and go into Wrestle Kingdom with this title.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, and part of that too is any wrestling crowd is going to want to see a title change and be part of history,
right?
I mean, we've seen Ishii. We were there in New Orleans when he beat Zack Sabre.
When he won the Rev Pro, the undisputed British title. Yeah,
that was an awesome moment. So I mean, you as a fan, you want to be part of stuff like that. But do you think that because they brought this up on the commentary, and it was also mentioned during the VTR, the disparaging comments that Kenny had made about Ishii and the way he was kind of playing with him in the matches leading up to this, and the stuff about the Japanese wrestlers. Do you think any of that plays into the public perception in a town like Hiroshima when they're watching a match like this?
They could. It could. And they definitely put it in the VTR for a reason.
Yeah.
So I definitely think they wanted people to get behind Ishii.
Yeah. Well, this match, going into the finish, basically, Omega fought back. He ends up hitting a tombstone, gets an incredible near fall. That was one thing they did great at the end of this match was the closing sequence where Omega's just killing Ishii and Ishii's kicking out everything.
Yeah, he kicked out at one.
Yep. Omega ends up dropping his knee pad, hits a jumping V trigger. He actually went so fast and so hard. He went over the top rope and spilled out to the floor, which I don't think I've ever seen him do that off a V trigger.
Yeah.
Gets back in, hits him with another V-trigger. Ishii kicks out at one, which was nuts. The J-Driller follows for Omega. Ishii kicks out, hits him with the V-trigger, one-winged angel, and that finishes it. And Kenny Omega, still your IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Yep. 30 minutes and 50 seconds. Great match. Excellent match.
Definitely worth a watch. Post-match, Ibushi comes back to the ring. He straps on the title on Omega. Kenny cuts a post-match promo. He says he thinks maybe people think he's a champ, and he's the best, he's the strongest, but the truth is he's only here because of Ibushi. He said anytime, any place, and reminds Ibushi that they share a promise.
They share a promise, huh?
Yeah.
What promise is that exactly, you think?
Who knows?
Speaking of wrestler theme songs, because I'm not a huge fan of the Golden Lovers theme song anyways, I think that these guys should start coming out to The Promise by When in Rome.
I promise you.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God. That would be if they start, we might as well just close the show with that, because that song's freaking awesome. Oh man, things are we're gonna stop using wrestlers themes at the end of the show. We're gonna start playing really niche 80s new wave music. Show's gonna get very weird. But so that's gonna do it for Destruction Hiroshima. And then 3 nights later, we're actually recording, and if you're listening to the show, obviously we did not drop it on Tuesday. We wanted to give ourselves enough time to watch Destruction in Beppu, which was Monday night.
Yeah,
we're recording on Tuesday, and give us some time to kind of digest it, because this was a rough show.
Yeah, man, this was not the greatest show. It's definitely not a show of the year contender.
And the thing is, in all fairness, the Destruction Tour historically is not known to have blowaway shows. It just isn't. So I mean, we're kind of in that in between time, between the G1, King of Pro Wrestling. You hope to get something great. You hope that you get some really good entertaining matches and stuff, but you kind of know it's Destruction. You kind of know what you're getting. It's a B-level, in between pay-per-view. tour. That's what it is. One thing I want to mention, and we had both shared this sentiment. As great as that Kenny Omega and Ishii match was, I'm still higher on the tag team match from the Road to show.
The Golden Lovers against Ishii and Will Ospreay.
Did not see that coming.
That match was awesome.
I know it was, but I thought first off, I love tag team wrestling, but I mean, anytime you get Kenny and Ishii in a singles match for the IWGP title, I'm going to think that's going to be
better.
Match of the month material, you know what I mean? Match of the year material, you know? But, man, that tag team match was really something.
Yes, that tag match was fire.
Like, I need to rewatch it now because I am higher on that match than I was on the main event of Destruction Hiroshima.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
To me, that tag match is like match of the month contender.
It definitely is. It definitely is. So, and especially after everything we saw on this show, it absolutely is.
Yeah.
But we got Tanahashi and Okada around the corner. I'm sure what those guys are going to kill it.
Yeah. With this show kicked off, we have Tenzan, Kojima, and Tsuji going against Nagata, Nakanishi, and Uemura, opening 6-man tag action here.
Oh my God, the New Japan dads.
They're back.
I got some heat last
Yeah,
week.
dude.
I got some heat, dude.
You did, man.
Oh, man. But I'll leave that in the past. But, the New Japan dads are back right where they belong in the opener. Why are you just smiling and not even saying anything? Oh, my God. I'm a douche.
I'm letting you get the heat on that.
No, you know what? So we'll get into it for a second. So, Mr. ACP, one of our longtime listeners, and I mean, I get flack from him all the time, and most of the time it's deservedly so. So, I mean, I'm not even gonna sit here and say I'm wrong, I'm right all the time. He usually has great points. I did get some heat about the fact that I said I didn't want to see these guys main event, and he brought a bunch of great points. He was like, hey, these guys, they open matches most of the time. They help the young lions, and they do the training, and they're legends and all that sort of stuff. And I couldn't agree more. But then at the same time, I just had to think back, I hated that match so much.
Yeah.
And I do. You know what? He was right. I probably shouldn't have been so harsh on the New Japan dads, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, Nakanishi and Tenzan are shot. I feel bad watching. I feel bad watching them wrestle.
Yeah.
Not even I hate watching them. I feel bad, dude. They look awful.
They're a shell of their former selves. Yeah.
I mean, Nakanishi's the same, basically. No, but with that being said, though, I do want to say in my defense, on last week's episode, I did say that I was delirious with exhaustion, and if I had any bad takes, to disregard them. And Mr. ACP felt the need.
Mr. ACP was like, nah, bump that. Get the smoke, boy.
He said, get these hands.
I'm not finished with you, young boy.
Yeah. I thought we were done, and he was like, I ain't done with you, young boy, not by a long shot. Oh my God.
But yeah, this was a solid opening matchup. The continued rivalry between Uemura and Tsuji in this matchup.
This is some Dave Finlay and Jay White level stuff right here, man.
Yeah, and return of Kojima to a big show, and the team, Nagata's team, ended up getting the win here with Nagata hitting an exploder and a Nagata lock onto Tsuji.
Yeah, I think you were a little surprised by that. You were thinking Uemura was going to take the loss, huh?
Yeah, because I mean, Kojima's back. I figured they're going to keep the momentum going, give Kojima another win here, have him hit the Western Lariat.
Nah, dude, he had his moment. Bread Club's done, dude.
Nah, bro.
The funny thing is, it seems like you're higher on Tsuji than I am, and I'm higher on Uemura than you are. But you're the amateur wrestler,
dude. I was higher on Uemura. If you listen back to the previous episode in the archives, me and you were on the same page of Uemura, and we thought Tsuji was all right. But dude, Tsuji has come a long way.
You're right.
He's bigger. He's in better shape. he's bigger. He's huge. He's a mask. Yeah. Just look at him. Look at him. And dude, his wrestling has gotten so much better. He actually looks like he knows what he's doing in there.
I think that's part of the thing is that like he's putting the pieces together and you can see his development. Whereas like Umura is about he's definitely better, but it's not like he's made these marked strives to be better than he was when he first started. With that being said, though, I am a mark for Umura's wrestling. He's very smooth, man.
Yeah.
He's so smooth.
But yeah, I just been really impressed with Suji's
charisma,
his improvement.
You like his charisma, bro. You like his ring presence. What you like.
And but yeah, kind of like this was a point that was actually made in the next match, which was David Finlay and Ren Narita against Toa Hanare and Shota Umino. During that match, Kevin Kelly was talking about he was actually more impressed with Narita at this point than Umino because Umino has always been good and it's been like kind of like the standout of this class of young lions, but Narita has gotten so much better and shown so much improvement.
Dude, I've been on the Narita train since I saw him in the freaking
the young Lions. Yeah,
I was like, how's this guy got no points? He's the best one out there.
I know.
I liked him better than Kawato. I liked him when we first started. I was all about Oka and Narita. Like, those are my dogs. Like, yes. I love those two dudes. Narita's awesome, man.
Yeah.
He's got that, like, punchable face. Like, he kind of reminds me of his face, like Taichi's face. Like, you just hate him.
Yeah. But
he's so good, man. Narita has gotten really, really, really good. And I would probably agree with that. I think Umino... I'll disagree a little bit with Kevin Kelly. I don't think Umino's always been good. Personally, I just don't. I wasn't that impressed with him until they started showcasing him after Kawato left.
Yeah.
Prior to Kawato, I was never really that impressed with Umino. He's actually, to me, improved more than Narita. I've always thought Narita was... Now, Narita's definitely got better, but I've always thought he was great. And I've always thought he was better than Umino, and I still think he is.
Well, I think Umino, he gets more talk, though. Even though, yes, we if you watch the matches, you can see that Narita has always been the better wrestler.
Narita's better than him.
But Umino he's gotten more of a push.
Yeah.
He's been more of the talk of, he's been featured in these matches with, the New Japan dads more, or he's gotten the spotlight one-on-one matches on, like, the Young Lions show.
Do you think Kevin Kelly talking up Narita is, like, him kind of, like, trying to, like, give him the rub a little bit, Give him some shine?
I think so, yeah.
Narita's great. I think he's better than Umino, personally. I mean, taking nothing away from Umino. Umino's really good, too. But I think right now, out of the current crop of young lions that are still here, to me, Narita's the best.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Man, when do you think Yagi's coming back? I kind of miss Yagi.
What happened? He got injured?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
he had a concussion, didn't he? Or did he? Or was it he like broke his?
Was it orbital?
No, I think it was his arm. Like his. One of those two things. Either he got. I can't remember. I think he might have broke his forearm.
His forearm.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I haven't heard any updates on Yagi since he got injured.
Yagi alert. We have a Yagi alert. Kanemitsu alert. Kitamura. Like, where are these young boys are dying out here? It's crazy.
These streets are rough, man. But yeah, I mean, this match was short, solid. It seemed kind of like, I don't know, a little bit of comedy, a little bit with Finlay, with the whole C Block trophy stuff.
Yeah, so what was the deal? The C Block trophy broke and now it's fixed? Like, what's the deal with that?
Apparently it was broken. He fixed it, and apparently this was supposed to be a C Block defense, and he's going to defend it.
How does that work?
Well, I mean, he won it in a tag match, so, whoever got the pinfall, wins the trophy, and he said he's willing to defend this in any type of match, anywhere.
Who would, you know what that's like? That's like the lineal championship.
Yeah.
Like, guys talk about, like, well, the lineal WWE champion. It's like, well, it is not real. It's like the C-Block trophy is like a gag gift. It's like, that's kind of sad that, like, we're always talking about Dave Finlay getting a push and like he's trying to get himself over by like he has no ideas. He's like, well, I'll just carry the C Block trophy around and like get that going. It's like No, it's a joke, dude. Like, you don't want to. I would not want to be associated with it or like be trying to get over. I'm not sure that anyone in like New Japan is like, hey, you really need to get this C Block trophy over. Like, I don't even know if they even know that they were doing that. It's all like an English like thing. You know what I mean? Like, Harold might find out about this crap and be like, hey, you need to. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, cut that out, pal.
Yeah, but
Finley does get the win here. He gets the stunner on Umino, and Finley and Narita pick up the win here. And this was the match where Umino's nose was busted open.
Yeah, what happened there? It looked like his nose broke.
Yeah.
Strong style, dude.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, that takes us to the next match of the night, one that everyone was looking forward to.
Dude, I can't believe they did this to us in the Iska one-on-one match.
I think it's literally been like years since we've seen Iska in a one-on-one match.
Dude, this was horrible. Iska versus Yoshida one-on-one.
Bro, one of these days, Jeremy, I'm going to show you the Tri-State Wrestling show with I think it's Joel Gerhardt. I forget his name. I'm going to show you the Iska versus Owen Hart match from that show.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, what? Like, you're literally going to be blown away.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the old Iska stuff, apparently, when he was good.
Well, yeah. I mean, they got a match on the network. Him and Tatsumi Fujinami taking on the Steiner brothers in WCW, but he just literally gets murdered the whole time.
But yeah, this match was trash. I mean, Iska comes out here doing the wild man gimmick. During the match, he runs over to Kevin Kelly. He makes Kevin Kelly remove his mask. He tries to bite Kevin Kelly.
Yeah, well, Kevin Kelly like fell over. Like,
yeah,
what the heck?
Gets in the ring. You know, the same Iska wild man stuff, the biting. He pulls the rope out to choke Yoshida. Gets the Iron Claw. Attacks Yoshida with the Iron Claw. Ref calls for the DQ.
So I think this is one of those things where, like, how we were talking about that they're testing out Yoshida. I mean, what bigger test than to, like, put him out there with, like, Iska?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have done it on this show. Maybe you save that for a house show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a non-televised show.
Yeah.
But so Yoshida wins by DQ, picks up his first singles victory here in New Japan.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah, I don't know. So that happened, and I'm gonna forget that ever occurred and move on with my life.
Yeah, so move right on. Next, we had Will Ospreay.
We're gonna put that in a little box, and I'm gonna just never talk about that. We're just gonna put that behind us, you know.
Yeah.
So Will Ospreay, Rocky Romero, Show and Yo. You got the Roppongi 3K featuring Will Ospreay, taking on the team of Jushin Thunder Liger, Tiger Mask 4, Kushida, and Ryusuke Taguchi.
Yeah, all four of these guys were in the British J Cup recently in Rev Pro, or all 8 of them.
Everybody except for Will Ospreay was, and I don't think was. Yeah, Tiger Mask wasn't it. All of them were except for Will Ospreay.
Gotcha. So yeah, I mean, once again, this was another, good 6-man tag match.
8-man.
Or 8-man tag match. For some reason, I thought Rocky was a manager, but yeah, it was 8-man tag. I mean, nothing special about it. Ospreay was great. Sho and Yo were great. Kushida was great. A lot of comedy from Taguchi. Liger had his moments. Dude, he had a big shote on Ospreay. Ospreay sold the crap out of it. Did like a shooting star. He's pretty much shooting starred himself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which is interesting considering Liger invented that move, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it came down to the finish here with Tiger Mask. Once again on Rocky Romero, he hit a Tiger Driver. Rocky kicked out, and then he hit a Tombstone and got the win over Rocky.
This is the match where Sho's eye was busted open.
Yeah. His eye was swelling up after the match here.
Yeah. So that happened. That brings us to a match that actually has some. Now, before we move on, why isn't Kushida getting the wins in these matches?
Yeah, that's what I was confused about in the previous match in Hiroshima and also this match.
Why are they heating up Tiger Mask for a run? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, Tiger Mask is not in this tournament. Like, he has no big matches coming up. Like, Kushida should be, tapped.
Speaking of which, there was one thing I thought was interesting. We were kind of wondering, like, what Bushi was doing being involved in this junior tag tournament. I guess the retraction that we have to place, because we were kind of wondering like what was
they
the
did a great job explaining why these 4 were picked. They were the 4 previous IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champions before Hiromu, so that's why they picked those 4.
Which makes sense. Now that they said that, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that now we don't look like idiots wondering about this crap.
Yeah.
So this match actually had some real world implications. We got the tag team of the Best Friends, Trent Beretta and Chucky T, taking on the Killer Elite Squad, Smith and Archer, which we've actually seen the last time that these two teams wrestled was in the
World Tag League.
Yeah. Which I think Beretta and Chucky T got the win during the tag league, if I remember correctly.
I believe they did as well.
I'll take a look.
That was a long time ago. That was like during our first couple episodes when we were covering that.
My mind's a Steely Trap, though.
But yeah, I mean, I thought KES looked good here again. I thought Best Friends looked good here. You know, this was actually, once again, one of the better matches on this card.
I thought it was match of the night, honestly.
Yeah. And clearly, once again, they are heating up Killer Elite Squad. KES got the win here with the Killer Bomb on Beretta.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, the Best Friends had a really good tag league, and then it did seem like they were getting ready to prepare them for maybe a title challenge in the future, or kind of have them in the mix. And then obviously with Trent getting injured, that kind of never happened. But, you know, with the notoriety of them being an established tag team, they've got a good track record, good history. This wasn't just some random thrown together team for Killer Elite Squad to just kind of go through. This is a real tag team. And yeah, that's exactly what KES did. They went right through these guys.
Yeah. So I guess they are facing each other again on Sunday. So I guess we'll see are they going 50-50 or are they going full go with this KES push.
If I'm a betting man, I'm gonna say KES once again.
Yeah.
That just seems to be what they do a lot of times. If there's not a title involved, that they're gonna hot potato. A lot of times when they just do these matches on these tours, even on televised tours, for whatever reason, it's not gonna be a 50-50 thing in most cases. I mean, I could be wrong, but maybe they do 50-50, and then maybe they have to have a rubber match down the road.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, I mean, if I'm guessing that KES is going to pick up the win there and move on.
Yeah. So, next we had 6-man tag action with Suzuki-gun, represented by Zack Sabre Jr., Kanemaru, and El Desperado, taking on the LIJ team of Evil, Sonata, and Bushi.
And I was wrong. KES actually beat them during the tag league, so
okay.
Take that back.
So KES has been running through these guys.
I do remember that match being good, and I thought it was better than this match, by the way.
The World Tag League match?
The World Tag League match, yeah. Because, I mean, Beretta and Chucky T are really good foils for Killer Elite Squad just because they're great, like, babyface and peril tag teams when they need to be, Yeah.
So this 6-man tag here with Suzuki-gun and LIJ. This was a good match. I mean, LIJ, we always talk about how well LIJ works together. I thought they had some great tandem moves throughout this match. I found it interesting with 2 juniors on the Suzuki-gun side. I was thinking LIJ had this in the books, but it was the Suzuki-gun team that got the win here.
Yeah, but they had the Pro Wrestling Master.
Yes, they had. Yeah, they had the Pro Wrestling Master, the Submission Master, the Master of the Zack Driver, ZSJ. It was Zack Sabre time, and Zack Sabre countered Everything Is Evil into a jackknife cradle, got the win. Evil was shook after this match.
Yeah, they did a really good job having Evil just like play up how upset he was and how shook he was. Zach and Taka are just having a great time on the outside, just being like heels that are just like, making fun of him and, jaw-jacking and doing what they do, and Evil's just super upset.
Yeah. The thing was, like, Evil was so confident toward the end of the match. He's like,
yeah, I
got him. I'm going to hit this Everything Is Evil.
Yeah.
I'm going to celebrate, do my rock-style promos in the back. But nah, Sabre reversed him. He got caught.
Sonata and Bushi just left him alone. They could tell he was like really pissed. They didn't even like bother. I won't be surprised if we hear more about this like from Chris Charlton's like translations.
Yeah,
you know, with Tokyo Sport. That sort of thing.
Saber with his promos hating on Halloween. He's like, he's dressed up like it's Halloween. Halloween's rubbish. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, Saber hates Halloween. And
Saber hates everything.
Yeah,
because everything is evil.
Yeah, and I think Taka in the promo was like, everything is not evil.
Well, you know what though? Here's the thing about that: the best heels are heels that mix in truth, and that is true. Everything is not actually evil.
There is some good stuff in this world.
That's a true statement. Not everything is evil.
Oh man. So yeah, once again, they're doing something here with Evil and Zack Sabre Jr.
Where are they paying it off?
King of Pro Wrestling, Power Struggle.
Are they having a singles match next card?
At Destruction.
At Destruction?
And this is Kobe, right? The next
we
one?
would look stupid if they're having a match at Destruction Kobe, but I don't remember them mentioning that. I'll look up the card.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that being an advertised match, but it's been a while since we looked over the whole card. So if they are having a match, then I do feel dumb.
Yeah,
but,
like we're sitting here like speculating. Like I've listened to other podcasts that have done that sort of thing, and you're like just listening the whole time. You're like, you stupid idiots! Like, they're about to. Well, when do you think they're gonna pay this off? The next show, you idiots.
you freaking marks.
No, but yeah, I'm pulling it up. Just our internet sucking tonight.
Yeah, it's been real weird tonight.
Something's not right in the force here in the Strong Style Studios. But anyways, let's move on to the next match.
So we had the Chaos team of Okada, Toru Yano, and Yoshihashi and Jay White, 8-man tag here, taking on the team of Hiroshi Tanahashi, the Great Bash heel of Togi Makabe and Honma, and the U.S. champ Juice Robinson. So once again, we still have, Chaos is following in shambles from the previous Destruction Night in Hiroshima. Jay White still stirring the pot. Yoshihashi still caught in the middle between Okada, Jay White, and Tanahashi.
Yoshihashi's just like the prettiest girl at the ball. He doesn't know what to do. It was funny. Kevin Kelly, actually, I wanted to point this out. He had mentioned on the previous night, he was saying that, basically Okada needs to focus on the IWGP title and stop focusing on Yoshihashi. And
he was like, the briefcase is worth 100 Yoshihashis.
And I was like, not a truer statement has ever come out of Kevin Kelly's mouth. Because what you're basically telling me is that like 100 Yoshihashis are not of the same value or capable of winning the IWGP title. I was like, that's true. That's absolutely true, Kevin Kelly. You're dead on with that. That's why he's going to be named the best, wrestling commentator for the year for me, just with that one statement. And when we announce him, I'm going to play that clip of him saying that. And I'm like, that's all I need to show you, folks. We don't even have to put anyone else in the categories.
Yeah.
It's all Kevin. But, what did you think about this match?
It was a good match. Once again, some good storytelling with the miscommunications with Chaos. They had to call back to the spot with Yoshihashi. I forgot who he was holding, but he was holding somebody. Maybe it was Tanahashi again. And Okada went for the boot, but this time it connected. And actually, it ended up where at the end, Jay White accidentally hits Yoshihashi, which allowed Juice to hit the fist and the Pulp Friction and get the pin. So this time it was Jay White that cost the win on Yoshihashi. And Okada blames Jay White for the loss.
This is good booking. This is great booking. And not because of the stories, because of the outcomes.
Yeah. And so
Yoshihashi taking the pinfalls 1, 2, 3 all day. No, but yeah, I am wondering what do you see with Chaos? Where do you think this is going?
I think eventually it's going to lead.
You think they're breaking up?
I think it's going to lead to another Okada Jay White match.
For me, I think Chaos needs to change. It needs to change in some manner. I don't think necessarily Okada needs them anymore, but Chaos needs something because they're a mess. They've been a mess for a while.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for years now. There was a time where it seemed like they were starting to get on the same page and kind of like recollecting and becoming, a more, close unit, but that's long gone. This year's not been that year.
Yeah, I think there needs to be some kind of split and reformation with Chaos.
Maybe not even. Maybe they could just be something else. I don't know.
We'll see.
They've been around for years, man. For a long time. Yeah. And it's not like I don't know. The Chaos merch isn't flying off the shelves or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like it's been a great vehicle for guys like Okada and Nakamura, but at this point, do we still need what good is Chaos really doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? Does New Japan need Chaos at this point? I'm all in favor for a more progressive move where maybe they do split up and maybe Jay does do something different and has a new group. Historically speaking, that's what happens in New Japan. Factions break up and they become something else.
Right, and somebody else takes over the faction.
Yeah, so I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
But I am invested in this story. I'm invested with what's happening between Okada and Jay White, and I'm looking forward to that when the time comes.
Right. In the post-match, Tanahashi checks on Yoshihashi. Yoshihashi blows him off. Okada blames Jay White for the loss, and the drama continues with those guys. And real quick, Destruction and Kobe, there is not a one-on-one match with Sabre and Evil.
I actually have the whole card, and I think we should just go over it real quick after this is over. We'll just go over, what we're looking forward to.
Yeah. So next up on this card, we have the Never Openweight title match with the champion Hiroki Goto defending against Taichi. And what do you think about this match, young boy?
Dumpster fire. No, I don't want to say that. It was 21 minutes. It felt like it was 35 minutes for some reason. It did get going in certain parts, but once it started to get going with all the LIJ crap that they were pulling out, this just wasn't my cup of tea, man.
Yeah, man. I was not a fan of this match. I was really trying to get into it, and Taichi's a new guy that I've been pushing. I was trying to get behind it, trying to get into it. I didn't like the build, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe they'll have a decent match. But, I was not a fan of the match.
You could tell they could have had one.
Yeah.
They could have had a decent match, but they didn't.
But they decided to go with, all the interference. Kanemaru was out there.
Roppongi 3K.
Yeah, Desperado, Iska. All the interference, all the smoke and mirrors, all the shenanigans. It was 21 minutes of this.
Yeah.
It's not like this was a short match with shenanigans. It was a long match with shenanigans. There was a lot of nothing going on in this match.
The ending was exciting, but you were so over it by the time it came, and it was just whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Basically, Red Shoes ends up getting ref bumped. Goto had a visual pin over Taichi at one point. He thought he had the win, which I'm not a big fan of when guys get visual pins off of moves that they would never win the match with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're going to get the visual pin, do it off your finisher.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Iska showed up, distracted Red Shoes once he was recovered. Goto took out Iska. Taichi low-blowed Goto, hits the Gedo clutch for 2. Super kicks, Goto right after that. Last ride, gets 2. And then he hit him with the air raid crash and won the title. So there was literally 10 minutes of this match where they didn't do anything, by the way.
Yeah.
I just want to point that out. There was literally... I was actually talking to a friend of mine, a lady friend, and she was like, I want to see what you're watching. And I
no, you don't.
I was showing her, and she was like, this is... she's actually seen other wrestling that I've showed her in the past, and she was like, this is nothing like what you've watched before. This is so weird. And I was like, yeah, I know. And then she was like, I want to see that dude... I told her, I was like, yeah, this guy rips his pants off. She's like, I want to see that. But when the match started, she wanted to keep watching it. She's like, they're not doing anything. And I was like, I know. And she's like, I want to keep watching. I'm like, why? They're not I'm like, this is not going to be the first New Japan match that I show you is Taichi and Goto. No.
Oh my god.
She's like, why does this guy literally keep getting out of the ring? Why is he so scared? And I was like, I don't know. That's his character. He sucks. But they didn't do anything for 10 minutes.
Yeah, all the Tai Chi fans rejoice. They're happy that Tai Chi's a never champ.
They really did, bro. Like, people are online, Lord Taichi and all this stuff, but
But even the crowd, we mentioned, like, they want to see the underdog, the new champ, and the fans used to chant "Go home Tai Chi," but now half the crowd's actually chanting for Tai Chi, and it seems like there was some kind of a pop after he won, because people, I guess, I was honestly expecting Goto to win this match, and
they did what they needed to do, I guess. Like, we talked about how we thought they had a good match in them, but we weren't going to be surprised if they had a bad match, and this is pretty bad, man.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. Now, I don't know, like, why didn't they just do that? Like, they did the whole thing where Goto dropped the belt to Elgin and then won it right back, and then now he's dropped it to Taichi, and I'm like, why didn't they just... I wanted them to just go Taichi back then.
Yeah.
And now it seems like that whole thing was just a waste of our time and everyone's time.
Yeah, and knowing how they booked the never openweight title, I wouldn't be surprised if they have a title match at, Power Struggle, King of Pro Wrestling, and Goto gets it right back.
I wouldn't either. I would not be surprised by that at all. So is this Taichi's like first title win in New Japan?
Yep, his first
singles.
Yeah, first singles title, I believe. Yeah.
Huh. So, I mean, where they go from here, I don't know. I mean, they could easily. I don't know really. Like, there haven't been any inklings yet with the backstage promos or anything like that. But I'm sure on the next tour, we'll probably get some sort of, like, build to something.
Yeah.
Something. Whatever that may be. Who would you like to see challenge Taichi?
I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, baby faces that are in the mid-card right now.
Trent?
Yeah, Beretta could get a shot. I mean, Ishii could go back down to the never openweight title.
Oh, you know what? Maybe, oh my god, maybe we get this storyline where he just defends against juniors.
The juniors, yes.
That's the one thing where I'm like, oh, that might be good.
Yes.
That would be cool.
Dude, do him and Kushida.
Yo.
Yeah, him against Yo.
Dragon Lee. I mean, there's a lot of things they could do with this.
Yeah.
If they decide to do that. I don't know if they will, but...
Yeah, well, that's what he said in his promos. And we talked about what happens sometimes with their backstage promos. But I hope they do that.
Yeah.
And it's the gateway for more junior versus heavy matches.
So anyways, that brings us to the main event of the night. Tetsuya Naito taking on Minoru Suzuki. Suzuki-gun running on a high here because, they just picked up a singles title with Taichi, and Suzuki, here in the... they got that big win with Zack Sabre over Evil. So, I mean, they're riding high, and then you get Naito and Suzuki. We've been building to this for a while, and now it's here. Rematch from their match earlier in the year. And... man, what was that noise? I'm sorry. There's like crazy noises going on.
There's some crazy. It's not my dog. There's some crazy dogs outside.
Is that a dog?
Yeah.
I thought it was a gunshot. Like, I'm sorry. I don't break out in the middle of the podcast like this, but I was like, what is that? Oh my god. Anyways, this I don't know, man. I didn't love this match.
Yeah, dude. This match, it was rough, man. This match dragged. Like, it was 32 minutes. It felt like it was an hour, dude. Like,
this is very similar to the match that they had earlier in the year. That was at
Wrestling Hinokuni. Yeah.
And I said it at that time where I was like, they had a great build, a lot of anticipation, a lot of potential, but it was a match that was not very good with a lot of great moments.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of great moments that in a vacuum, like, you could probably put together a really good comp video and make this look legendary.
Yeah.
Because they had some awesome strike exchanges. They had some awesome, like, moments where, like, there was a ton of desperation and anticipation and all that, just the drama of the match. But, man, it was really drawn out. The freaking spots where, Naito was in these really, really long, prolonged submission holds that didn't lead anywhere.
Right. It's not like he, like, sold a leg throughout the rest of the match, or Suzuki got the win off of it or anything. So yeah, all those holds, and it led to nothing. I thought that the finish was really sloppy.
Yes.
I thought like it came out of nowhere. It was sloppy. I thought there was a couple. I think there was like what 2 Destinos in this match. I thought both of them looked really bad and were just sloppy. Yeah, man. It didn't seem like the crowd was into this match either. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I don't think Beppu was the greatest wrestling crowd in the world. Was this how often do they go there? I don't think they go there that often anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the match. Maybe this. It seemed like they drew, so who knows? But yeah, man, there was a lot to criticize. I didn't like this as much as their Hinokuni match, which I was already critical of to begin with.
Yeah.
So I'm disappointed. To be honest. And a lot of times, like, if a match is bad, I'm like, it is what it was. But with these two guys, level workers that they are, the potential that they have, the kind of matches they've had in the past, I just really expected more. And yeah, when it ended, I was glad it was over.
Yeah.
And I'd rather watch the Hinokuni match. Like, I didn't like that match either. But that match was at least, like, watchable to a degree.
Yeah.
A lot of the people who were in favor of that match at the time, where I was like, no, that sucked, and people were like, I love it. I'd be surprised if there's people out here, like, defending this match.
Yeah.
I thought it was way worse.
Yeah.
Way worse.
Yeah, man, it was rough, and and it's not even like the length, like, because obviously New Japan always has like 30-minute main events, but when you have a 30-minute match like this, man, it's hard.
Yeah, it's like you said, a lot of the large portions of the match didn't mean anything. They didn't lead to anything. The finish was very sloppy. I thought it was weird when Naito started to do the Gotch Pile Driver, and it like. He
turned into a powerbomb.
I think he fell over. I don't know what happened there. I just didn't ever care. Like, everything was very lackadaisical.
Yeah. There was nothing really on the line either. It's like, what are they fighting for? Like, at least last time they had the IC title. Like,
yeah. I didn't like their previous match, and this one's way worse to me. So, Destruction has a very, like I said, they've got a reputation for putting on bad shows, and I think Destruction Beppu is one of the worst shows of the year for New Japan.
Yeah.
As far as major shows go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, this would be, like... there's not anything on this card that I would recommend.
Yeah. You could totally skip this card.
It's not like it was totally unenjoyable, but, there's better Road 2 shows.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's our review. I feel bad, dude. I feel bad. I don't think we do very many bad reviews like this.
Well, here's the thing, man, and we've been saying this from day one. We're gonna tell the truth. We're not, people like to claim, non-WWE fans or New Japan fans will say everything is good about New Japan. They do nothing wrong. But when we come on this podcast, we tell you everything they do right, and we point out the flaws. And, we're not going to come out here and tell you a show is good if it's not good. If the show is not good, we're going to tell you it's not good. If a match is not good, we're going to tell you the match is not good.
Here's the thing. I don't know where Suzuki goes from here. I don't know where Naito goes from here. And I care less. Not that I'm done with them. These are two of my favorite wrestlers. But, like, I have no anticipation about what the next step for them is. Because the next thing I think is, like, they're probably going to be in multi-man matches. And, like... who knows what after that? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right. Honestly, I was going to say I want to see no more Suzuki going LIJ, but with the whole Sabre Eagle thing going, this is probably...
Well, we're getting another match between them on this next show.
Yeah, I know, on Kobe, yeah. So let's go over that Destruction and Kobe card.
So the show's going to open up with a singles match between Tsuji and Yumura.
Rivalry of the year.
I have a feeling that we're going to get a finish on that night.
You think so?
That's my gut feeling, is that they've been building to it. I think that we're getting a finish. The next match will be Shota Umino and Ren Narita taking on Roppongi 3K. That should be pretty good.
Yeah.
Look for Roppongi 3K to pick up the easy win there. But Umino and Narita putting in a good showing. Next, you've got Liger and Tiger Mask taking on Kanemaru and El Desperado. I wouldn't be too surprised if Liger and Tiger Mask actually pick up a win there.
And so give them a title shot?
Yeah, because we don't have any title challenges.
Maybe that's why they're heating up Tiger Mask.
That would make sense. Do you think that makes sense?
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they're doing there. I don't know. The fourth match of the night, Taguchi Japan, Togi Makabe Tomoaki Hanma, Ryosuke Taguchi, and Ayato Yoshida. I don't even know if you can call this Taguchi Japan.
It's like Great Bash heel with Taguchi and Yoshida.
Yeah, taking on Tenkozy, Yuji Nagata, and Manabu Nakanishi. So you got the New Japan dads. That's a match I'm not really looking forward to, but it should be fine. The fifth match of the night, Best Friends taking on Killer Elite Squad in a rematch from the past tag team match they just had. The sixth match of the night, Juice Robinson, Dave Finlay, and Toa Henare taking on Jay White, Yoshihashi, and Will Ospreay. Look for more furthering of the storyline of the dissension within Chaos.
Yep.
The seventh match of the night, we've got six-man tag action as L.I.J., Naito, Sonata, and Evil taking on Suzuki-gun, Minoru Suzuki, ZSJ, and Taka Michinoku. The eighth match of the night, we have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship Tournament semifinal match, Kushida and Bushi taking on the team of Hiroshi Tanahashi and... I'm sorry, what am I saying?
I was like, what?
It's getting late in the night. I'm like, yeah, so Kushida and Bushi will be wrestling in the first semifinal match of the Junior Heavyweight Championship Tournament. And then in the main event, we have Hiroshi Tanahashi defending his Tokyo Dome briefcase against Kazuchika Okada, which should be fantastic.
Yeah, should be an amazing matchup.
So this is the best looking card of the tour.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be great.
I think Kushida and Bushi will be good. I think Tanahashi and Okada will be good. I'm very much so looking forward to this.
Yeah. So yeah, and this is Sunday, guys. Destruction in Kobe on New Japan World. And now we're gonna jump into the news.
Yeah, so we'll go through it very quickly here. So we talked a little bit about Toa Henare. He's actually going to be returning to a wrestling promotion from New Zealand called SPW. He's going to be competing on one of their shows called Fight Nights. He'll be wrestling a wrestler called Will Powers, and they'll be showing this on Pivot Share. So if you get a chance, you may want to check out Toa Henare on an excursion match. Speaking of foreign excursions, Hirai Kawato-san, has defeated Drone, who you may have seen during the Fantastica Mania tour this past year. They wrestled in what's called a lightning match. If you're not familiar with that, in CMLL, it's a 10-minute match, single fall, which they don't do very many of those. And Kawato picked up his very first singles win in CMLL, which is pretty cool. He has this new finisher. It's awesome. I don't know if you...
No, I haven't seen it. Well,
yeah. It's kind of hard to describe, but you can actually watch it. It's right on YouTube. So if you get a chance, definitely want to check that out. Other New Japan news. So Brian Pillman Jr., who just signed a multi-year deal with MLW, which I know you're kind of following that promotion.
Yeah,
a little bit more. Speaking of which, how was the War Games show?
Honestly, it was kind of underwhelming. I think part of it is the production. MLW has good production for indie, but when you're trying to film like a War Games match, I really feel like you need like the WWE quality production, and that wasn't there. And I don't know, there was something about it just didn't click all the way for me. Like, it was fine. I was expecting it to be better. I thought they did a good job building both the teams and going in there. You had the babyface team with the coin flip advantage at first. They eventually worked it out where the heels got the advantage, but I don't know. It was just okay for me.
What about the match with Pentagon and Phoenix? Pentagon and LA Park.
That hasn't aired yet.
Oh, it hasn't?
Right. This past week, they only aired the War Games match, took up the whole hour.
Okay. Yeah, I heard that match is supposed to be like killer, so
right.
We still have that to look forward to.
Yeah.
So Brian Pillman Jr., I guess they're trying to broker a deal where he will be trained in the New Japan Dojo. So I don't know. Is it the LA dojo they're trying to get him into, or
what I've been hearing is the actual New Japan dojo in Japan, because they want him to have the same experience that his dad had, and plus,
that would make sense.
Plus, I think training there would make him a better worker, and it would help him become a bigger star in the United States.
Huh. Okay, so that would be really, really cool to see him. Yeah, man, seeing him in New Japan at some point, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of Pentagon, so we've been covering this story for a while. Pentagon and Phoenix, whether or not they'll be WWE NXT bound. The newest news is that they are currently taking bookings well into 2019 and that they have dates with major companies in 2019. So for the time being, it looks like they're not headed to WWE anytime soon.
Yeah, Court Bauer, who runs MLW, he tweeted out and said that Pentagon and Phoenix have several 2019 dates for MLW already booked. So they'll definitely be there. Hopefully that All-In match inspired somebody to maybe bring Pentagon in New Japan 2019.
That would be awesome. In other news, so Takeshi Morishima, we talked about his return to the wrestling ring. It looks like his return event has been canceled. He put out, in Tokyo Sports, he basically said, "I'm sorry for being weak." His match was canceled due to septic arthritis surgery. So no word on whether or not he'll be making a return to the ring at all after this. But we wish him that that he gets well. And we hope to see him back if he is able to in the future. Also, Kojima just had his 48th birthday this past week. Jeremy, you got any thoughts about that?
Happy birthday, Kojima. Glad you're back. Can't wait to see some, more great matches.
The Defiant Wrestling Company, formerly known as What Culture Pro Wrestling, they released the match that we talked about a few weeks ago between Walter and Will Ospreay, which was the first meeting of those two guys. Got lots of really great reviews. They've released it for free online, so you can watch that match. It's from their Stacked event.
Yes, it's called Stacked. I actually watched it this past weekend, and I thought it was a great match. I loved it.
Which brings us into our next topic. So OTT is having their 4th anniversary show, and one of the matches, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the main event, is actually going to be a return match between Will Ospreay and Walter.
Yes, so they have 4 big matches announced. So yes, the main event of Will Ospreay versus Walter. They have Suzuki against Thatcher. They have the LIJ team of Sonata, Evil, and Naito taking on Bandito, Flamita, and Shane Swerve Strickland.
Wow.
And also Kushida versus Ishii.
Really?
Yes.
Bro, I'm still on this Ishii as a junior kick. I'm telling you.
After that, the Frankensteiner.
Yeah, bro. That dude can fly, bro. Dude. Ishii, best of the Super Juniors next year. Oh, my God.
Dude.
Yeah, no, that's never going to happen. But, yeah, I'm all about this Ishii junior run. He's going to be the greatest junior champion of all time.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Walter, by the way, before we move on, what's up with OTT having banger after banger event? It seems like every month now we're getting Global Wars and War of the Worlds level shows out of these guys.
Yeah. Well, part of it, which I mentioned to you, I think a lot of it is they can't use all of the UK guys that they're normally used to using. Also they still have Ospreay and Walter, and there are some UK guys they can use. But with NXT UK, a lot of the WWE signed up some of those guys and they can't use. So you know what? We're just gonna bring in New Japan guys. We're gonna bring in guys outside of our company and have these awesome shows.
Okay.
That's my theory.
No. That's probably absolutely right. But they're just killing it, dude. All the time. So that being said, the newest news concerning Walter is that there's feelers from WWE. They're reaching out to him again. So yeah, who knows how much longer we have Walter on. I know that he's turned them down in the past, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, they really, really, really want to get this guy. So.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see. Speaking of interest from WWE when it comes to outside wrestlers, there are recent reports that both New Japan as well as WWE have interest and are actively reaching out to Killer Cross of Impact fame, who I'm not too familiar with him, but you said you'd heard a little bit more about him, right?
Yeah, I've been hearing about him a lot lately. I'm hearing a lot of good stuff. He's in a stable right now with the Impact champ Austin Aries and Moose. He's kind of like the muscle for Austin Aries. I've seen a few of his promos. They've been good. I haven't seen a full match of his yet, but Yeah, apparently he's been killing it there, and I've been hearing good things about him from top people.
Okay, cool. So, kind of moving on here in the news. So we've got quite a bit, man. We should probably talk a little bit about Kid Yamamoto passing this past. What was that today?
I believe it was either today or yesterday.
Yeah. So when this week started, when we were doing the news, I was kind of like relieved a little bit because I was like, man, we're not gonna have to talk about any passing of any wrestling legends, and we were kind of fortunate because it seemed like week after week after week, that's all we just kept covering that sort of thing. And then the unfortunate news came out this past earlier today that Norifumi Kid Yamamoto has passed away due to his battle with stomach cancer, which is a shock. It's a shock because we literally just found out about this struggle that he was going through last month, man.
Yeah.
Last month. Now, I know that we're a wrestling podcast and we covered, New Japan, but being just, like I am an old school MMA fan and I still follow the sport extensively. And I mean, I watched Kid Yamamoto since, his K1 days, since his Shudo days, his time in Heroes. And this is a tough one, dude. This is a hard one to take, especially considering how young Kid Yamamoto was. I mean, he's 41, dude.
Yeah, that's sad.
That's me in 11 years.
Yeah.
That's awful. That's awful, awful, awful. Kid Yamamoto is one of the biggest stars that Japanese MMA has ever had. You have to put him up there in the same discussion as Takada, your Yoshidas, your Ogawas, and he's just a notch beneath Sakuraba. I mean, he was a national hero. This was a guy who in his prime was one of the greatest athletes that I've ever seen fight. A guy who walked around in the 140s competing in the 155 division, taking on guys that were cutting weight to, so these are guys that pretty much outsized him, 20 or 30 pounds, and he was destroying them. And in his prime, he's one of the greatest lightweights I've ever seen. I mean, you look at his list of guys he beat. I mean, Hoyler Gracie, Kal Uno, Genki Sudo, Miyata, freaking Bibiano Fernandez. I mean, he was destroying dudes when, it's just crazy. It's crazy to see this happen. The second half of his career when he came to the UFC, obviously by that point he was coming back from injuries and it wasn't the same guy. I do remember the first time I saw him fight in the UFC, and he was taking on Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, who I was not familiar with, and I was like, kid's gonna run through Mighty Mouse. Little did I know, he's fighting one of the fastest and most gifted fighters but in their prime, that probably would have been incredible.
Yeah.
As fast as Mighty Mouse is, I would say Kid's one of the only guys I've ever seen that was in his prime as fast as him. So, it's sad, man. It's really. I remember when Joe Warren beat him, and just being totally shook by that, because this was a guy that I didn't see losing like that. But it's awful, man. It's awful. And I mean, obviously there's a difference between MMA and wrestling, but if you do your research and you do your homework, you'll realize how interwoven Japanese MMA and Puroresu really, really are at the heart of it. So I mean, this is a really tough loss. There's not a lot that we know about. I know that he was getting treatment in trying to remember where they had him. He was getting treatment, but we don't know too much. But it's a big loss.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I watch MMA, but I don't know as much as MMA as you do, or the history as with Japan. I don't really know much about Kid Yamamoto, but I mean, it's always sad somebody that young, falling to cancer. So.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. His whole family, they're wrestling royalty. I mean, they're very, very famous family for their wrestling, acumen. His dad, his sisters, and all that. It's very, very. He's a legend. I mean, this would be, in America, it'd be the equivalent of like maybe a Chuck Liddell or someone like that passing away suddenly from like stomach cancer, and that would be like a shock. That's kind of what this is. So our thoughts and wishes go out to the Yamamoto family, and it's just terrible. It's terrible to hear that, man. Yeah. Terrible. But we will move on. So couple different things here. So we talked about the different things that were going on with Cody and the Bullet Club trying to like the OG Bullet Club trying to recruit new members, and it looks like this whole thing has kind of continued between Cody and Tama, wouldn't you say? Yeah,
I know that had been going. I think there were some more tweets going back and forth, and I know we had mentioned some of them last week.
So the one thing I gotta ask you with this is this, like, obviously it seems like they're working to something. Do you think that they're working to some sort of match between Cody and Tama? Is that something we even want?
Honestly, I don't think I want any Tama Tonga one-on-one match.
Am I wrong in thinking that that's what's happening, or
I mean, it's a possibility. Perhaps there's an NWA World Title match with Cody and Tama Tonga.
Huh. We've got other New Japan news. So the free match of the week, Kenny Omega taking on Juice Robinson from last year's Destruction Tour for the U.S. title is the free match of the week, which is a great match, by the way. So if you get a chance, you definitely want to check that out. Bad Luck Fale was interviewed this past week about the Bullet Club, about Kenny's role as being the leader and the history of that faction. So if you get a chance, you might definitely want to check that out. He had some very interesting takes. It seemed like he kind of did that interview a little bit out of character, so it was a bit of a shoot. Josh Barnett, who is a former, well, not former, he still is one of the commentators for the Access show for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and a former New Japan Pro Wrestler, MMA legend. He has actually made comments and statements that he'll be returning to MMA starting in 2019. So he's no longer, he was cut from the UFC, so we may be seeing him, who knows, maybe in Japan.
Bellator.
Probably Bellator. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So I don't know. With that, it could be something where we see him wrestle again as well. So, we'll keep our eyes and ears for that. Speaking of guys wrestling outside of their promotions, Kenny Omega was announced today to wrestle for the Northeast Wrestling promotion on November 9th, which is like kind of crazy. Like, how does NEW keep getting all these big stars to come wrestle?
Yeah, no idea. It's going to be at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center. Go to northeastwrestling.com, get your tickets, find out more about that event. Not sure who Kenny will be wrestling there yet.
He got some deep pockets, man. I don't know. Also, so let's talk about Fighting Spirit. Actually, you know what? We'll talk about Fighting Spirit Unleashed to close the show. Let's talk about the Neville Indy rumors. So, we know that Neville has supposedly been released from his contract with WWE. Different guys have been, talking about getting him to work for them and things of that nature. But the most recent news is that indie promoters keep reaching out to him. He keeps telling them that he can't take dates. Now, there's speculation that maybe it's due to some sort of non-compete that the public isn't aware of, or he signed somewhere and he can't work. What do you think?
I know. I mean, usually when wrestlers tell promoters they can't work, it's usually they're going to WWE. So, and there was that whole sighting of him in Pittsburgh. So maybe he's going back to WWE, or maybe he's already signed a contract somewhere else and we don't know about it, and he's waiting to make his debut. So
we will keep our eyes and ears peeled when it comes to that as well. LIJ just came out with a new jacket. It's exclusive. You can actually order it on the on ProWrestlingTees.com. So if you're a big LIJ fan, you want to get that new jacket. It's pretty cool. Daniel Bryan, who obviously is re-signed with WWE and will not be coming to the Indies or internationally anytime soon, was recently interviewed, and he was talking about Omega, the Bucks, and Cody, and he said that they're essentially this generation's Four Horsemen.
Yeah, put them over big in that interview.
Yeah, so I was like, well, which one's Arn? we talked about the Never title. Obviously, Taichi just won it, but I don't know if you saw during one of the house shows that was untelevised. Apparently, like some of the brackets like broke off of it. I heard like Taichi was throwing the belt around, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you see if that got repaired or not?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about the repair. I just heard about it being broken.
Broken like Okada. Newsweek did an article this past week about New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor selling out Madison Square Garden and what the future holds for them. So if you get a chance, definitely want to check that out. Also, Cody was on the Ross Report this past week. He talked about winning the NWA title, what that means for his role in wrestling. What he would do differently going forward if they do All In 2, which it sounds like they have some preliminary plans to do so.
Yeah.
Speaking of Cody, it looks like he's already announced a few title defenses, and we have news on the 70th anniversary as well.
Yeah, so Cody, he was at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood over the weekend at their TV tapings, and he announced that he will be defending the NWA World title during Death Before Dishonor weekend against Willie Mack. So that will be his first title defense, and then if he is successful, which I'm sure he will be, he'll move on to the 70th anniversary show, October 21st, at the Nashville Fairgrounds to take on Nick Aldis in the big rematch. So tickets went on sale for that show last Friday. So I believe tickets are still available. And it says at the Asylum, which was the old TNA location when they used to film at.
Yo, tell me if I'm wrong here. You used to buy those pay-per-views.
I bought one of them, one of the Wednesday night pay-per-views. And then I would find other stuff on YouTube until they got onto Fox Sports Net.
That's awesome. You literally bought.
Jeff Jarrett finessed me. I bought one of those $9.99 Wednesday pay-per-views. Yeah.
Oh my God. So there was a couple really big shows that occurred this past weekend. If you haven't watched them and you plan to see them, this is your spoiler alert warning. You might want to skip forward a couple minutes. But the CMLL 85th anniversary show took place in Arena, Mexico this past weekend. The main event saw the team of Rush and Barbaro Cavernario defeat the team of Matt Taven and Volador Jr. in a double Lucha de Espuertas match. So I haven't read too much on it, but I'm assuming that means Volador and Matt Taven are shaved.
Yeah.
So hair versus hair match. So yeah, that's what happened there. I haven't read too many of the reports on that show, but I'm assuming it's going to be airing very shortly. We'll be able to watch it.
Well, it's already on Honor Club.
Yeah, so if you have an Honor Club, you can watch it. So maybe we should check that out. Also, PWG Bola occurred this past week, which looked insane.
Yeah.
Anything that obviously we want to talk about the winner there, but you have the notes there, Jeremy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great tournament matches. I won't go through all of those, but I mean, there was a PWG tag title match on night 3 with the Rascals, Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz defeating the Lucha Brothers. I heard that was amazing. Obviously, the finals of the tournament came down to a triple threat between Jeff Cobb, Bandito, and Shingo Takagi. And Jeff Cobb ends up getting the win here and is your PWG Bola 2018 winner.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, congratulations to Jeff Cobb. Hopefully we see him in the New Japan ring soon. Obviously, recently signed to Ring of Honor. So, that's nothing but good for Ring of Honor, nothing but good for New Japan and indie wrestling overall. So, that's a great call. I mean, I know, shout out to Chris Bryan
and Jeremy Tate. They were at Bola. I believe they were there all 3 nights.
Yeah, so if you want to get great coverage of that, you definitely check out Grown Men Watch This
Shit.
I'm sure they're going to have a very spirited show discussing their time, and where is that? It's in Reseda?
Yeah, well, it's at the new location. Is that?
They were in Cali. They were somewhere out there. They're at the Globe Theater, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
New Japan actually has been upping some of their, content for the online website and as well as the U.S. YouTube channel. California Dreamin', the documentary that they're doing about Shibata, part 2 just recently came out. So if you haven't had a chance, Highly recommend it. You definitely want to check that out. Also, they have this new show called The Wire.
Yeah, so they announced on their Twitter, they were like, we're pleased to announce a new series from NJPW Global called The Wire. We keep you up to date with all the latest news coming out of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Don't miss a single video by subscribing to our YouTube channel. So, yep, that's the English YouTube channel. And they have a couple videos up there under The Wire, and it's like just like kind of a news updates on some of the latest matches. And they've been putting a lot more English content on their YouTube. They have some countdown series, and
yeah, they finally started doing countdowns after like 4 years
yeah,
here in the US. So that's cool.
And they're asking, what other English content we want to see on their channel.
Yeah, I saw on the New Japan Global Twitter. So if there's certain types of, like, if you like countdown videos, or there's things you want to see, hit them up, and I'm sure they're all ears.
Hit them up and tell them you want Keeping It Strong Style.
Yes.
on their channel.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
The premier English-speaking New Japan podcast.
We're the premier New Japan podcast in the world. Like, I don't know.
We are the ace.
We're the ace of podcasts, baby.
I know there's some other podcasts who think they're number one.
So Tanahashi was in the news recently this past week, and he had some disparaging comments about Kenny Omega, basically kind of talking about Kenny's matches and match quality, and saying that it's the equivalent to like a movie with no like heart or soul, basically.
Yeah, he's like only the last like 5 minutes matter.
Sort of like an action movie is what it kind of sounded like to me. What did you think about that?
It's just, I think it's fuel to the fire for this Omega Tanahashi match. They're making it real personal. I mean, the overarching theme for this rivalry has been the two clashing styles and, theologies. I don't know a better word, or like mindsets, philosophies of wrestling. Obviously, they both have kind of different styles and mindsets on what wrestling should be. And so it's a kind of a clash of those philosophies here, and I think we're going to see more of those types of interviews and more shots at each other building into January 4th.
Yeah, so shout out to Chris Charlton for posting those translations on his Twitter handle at ReasonJP. Speaking of Kenny Omega, I wanted to basically throw this out there. So I saw recently that there's an official MMA record for Kenny Omega having amateur MMA fights, and I tried like very desperately to verify if any of this information is accurate or not. If anybody, and I really couldn't tell, like, it seems legit. Did you know that Kenny Omega?
No, you mentioned this to me before recording, and I had no idea about it.
So I've read that he like had some like experience with like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and things like that. But if you're a listener and you know anything about Kenny Omega having an MMA record or having amateur fights or professional fights, let us know, because I've been trying to do some digging, and I mean, it would make sense that like having regional fights in the mid 2000s in like Canada might not be the most like record kept. I mean, there's no photos, so I don't know, but like, yeah, someone posted this.
Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah, but someone posted that like Kenny Omega like had fights, and I'm like, what? Like, he was really V-triggering dudes in the cage.
He perfected the technique of the V-trigger.
So we've got a few. We're gonna close the show here. We got 3 big shows coming up here in the near future. So we'll start with the Rep Pro. The Global Wars UK dates and matches have been announced. Also, speaking of which, Rep Pro has a television deal that they just inked with a company, or with a television channel, Free Sports, who they were the ones who were actually showing that wrestling company. What was it called?
Five Star Wrestling, I believe it was, something like that.
They're taking their spot basically. So, and I just heard about that today. Like, I didn't realize that they were kind of making that move. So, that's very, very, very exciting. I know like our friends like Ricky and Clive out in the UK, they probably know a little bit more about Free Sports than we do, but
yeah,
things are heating up in the UK.
Yeah.
Also, it seems like World of Sport might be getting canceled. I don't know. I'm hearing some pretty bad stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But back to this, the New Japan Rev Pro Global Wars. We got Naito against Chris Brooks. the British Heavyweight Championship match between Suzuki and Ishii, the British Cruiserweight Championship match between David Starr and Kushida, Hiroki Goto against Zack Sabre Jr., and Evil and Sonata against Walter and Timothy Thatcher. LIJ versus Ring Cop.
And when is Global Wars?
October 14th.
Wow, pretty soon. Ring Comp taking on LIJ sounds awesome.
Yeah, sounds amazing.
Awesome. So we've got that coming up. Also, the Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor is that like this weekend?
No, it's September 28th and the pay-per-view is on the 28th, the Friday, and the TV tapings are the 29th.
So in 2 weeks.
Yes. So for the pay-per-view, what we have so far, the main event is Bullet Club, Bullet Club Elite, Cody, Skrull, Hangman Page, and the Young Bucks taking on Chaos, Okada, Chucky T, Beretta, Rocky Romero, and Tomohiro Ishii. We have the Briscoes defending against Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian, the Ring of Honor World Tag Titles. We have the TV title match is Chris Sabin taking on Punishment Martinez. We have Kenny King will be taking on Jushin Thunder Liger. Sumi Sakai will be defending the Woman of Honor Championship against Tennille Dashwood. And then we have a Ring of Honor World Championship match. Jay Lethal defending against Will Ospreay.
So that I'm looking forward to that. Especially that Jay Lethal versus Will Ospreay match. That should be awesome.
Yeah, this should be actually a really great pay-per-view.
And then we have the latest news about Fighting Spirit Unleashed. Some good news, some bad news, and we're going to close the show with this. So we did have a report that they made the announcement that 2 new young lions will be making their debut at the Fighting Spirit Unleashed show. It's going to be their debuts. They're coming out of the LA dojo. They haven't announced who they are. I know they have several different young lions, and maybe they're just trying to decide on who it will be.
Right.
But they haven't made any announcements. It will be taking place on a dark match, so it will not air. But that's exciting that they're starting to roll out some of those guys from the LA dojo.
Yeah, probably some of the guys that were in that California Dreamin'.
Probably, yes. As well, we have the first news about the Unleashed tickets via the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Yeah, so we're 2 weeks away from the show, and there have been about 2,400 tickets sold.
Oh, my God.
So we're coming off of, at first they would announce the show and, 4,000 tickets or 5,000, whatever it is, would sell out immediately. And now they're like, about halfway to what they did last time, and we're 2 weeks away.
Yeah, there's no way to look at... they're still going to make money and all that, but there's no way to look at this as anything but probably disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, we got to bite... As New Japan fans, we got to bite the bullet on this one and say, hey, they might want to re-examine the way that they're marketing and expanding and running these shows, because... You run I don't know. I just think maybe you run this with a different card, or you run this in a different market. And
yeah, as of right now, the only matches announced are Juice versus Cody for the U.S. title.
And no one's even talking about this show really too much. It's not like they're building a lot of stuff on the Destruction tour to lead up to it or anything.
Right. Yeah. So there's Juice versus Cody for the U.S. title, Young Bucks versus God for the tag titles, and Will Ospreay versus Marty Scurll in the semifinal of the junior title tournament.
So, so that's Fighting Spirit Unleashed. The last bit of news, and it's good news. So we had heard that Access was going to be airing this on tape delay a week later, and we were like, how is that possible, and why would we as American fans want to watch this show on tape delay when it's airing, it's taking place at a time when we're going to be able to be, watch it live.
Right.
Well, the news broke out just recently that Fighting Spirit Unleashed will be airing live for New Japan World subscribers. So if you are a New Japan Pro Wrestling World subscriber and you have that service, you will be able to watch this for free live. And then if you are, if you're not and you want to watch it on Access, you can watch it a week later. And again, that will be commentated by Kevin Kelly as well as good old JR. So
yeah. So make sure you check that out on New Japan World. Next week, we'll be back with our review of Destruction in Kobe, and of course, we'll have all the latest news for you. Make sure you connect with us on social media. On Twitter, I'm at Jeremy L. Donovan. The show is at KI Strong Style. Social Suplex is at Social Suplex. On Facebook, we're facebook.com/Social Suplex. You can join us in our Facebook group, the Wrestling Squared Circle, facebook.com/group/Wrestling Squared Circle. On Reddit, I am the Pro Black Guy. Josh is Keeping It Strong Style. You can email me, jeremy@socialsuplex.com, if you have questions or you want to write for Social Suplex. Make sure you check out all the other shows on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. One Nation Radio, hosted by Rich Latta and James Boyd. The Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show from Scotland. The Outsider's Edge, featuring Rance, Carl, and Kyle. And our podcast dedicated to independent wrestling, Grown Men Watch This Shit, hosted by Jeremy Tate and Chris Bryan. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a rating and review. Until next time, goodbye and good night. Bang.
Thank you for listening to Keepin' It Strong Style. We'll see you next time.